I only ask because I haven't checked. I've had too many other windows open.
Yep, it should be good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, cool. Wait. 6, yes, okay. Hold on. Why is Fredbo being quiet? It's not playing what I asked it to play. Fred Bort, why are you not play what I want you to play? Fred Bort. There we go. Alright, that'll do it. It's 1 hour. Okay. That's alright, cool. Alright, so we were off last week. You with me, Sam?
Yeah.
We were off last week because Guaco went to England.
Yeah.
And probably had a good time. I hope.
It did.
Excellent. I was very sad because it meant we didn't get to play. But now we're back, and we're going to get to play. So, the week before last, the group had managed to completely explore themselves into a dead end after they entered the Lich's Illusion as they went further and further through these different rooms and chambers which presented themselves as disparate locales in a desert nation. The illusions began to feel more and more real and solid until the players could almost not tell the difference between reality and illusion.
Especially when we got a boulder dropped on us.
Then a boulder dropped on them and squished them. They fought some. They took cover through a doorway, which landed them in a room where they fought some copies of themselves that came from a magic mirror. Then they danced their way to victory to look through some doors with depictions of pagan gods, according to Lair. Behind each was a more disturbing image. Although I remember that Raiken found a statue of Cord and his followers fighting a great battle that he was very impressed by. After that, the group checked the last door, in which they found a facsimile of a very rich household, and they watched an old memory of a lady responding to her lady mother. They attempted to gather some intel and information by interacting with this illusion as they found they could. They gleaned whatever they gleaned. I wrote them some notes on what they learned, so hopefully people have taken some time to look at that. And then they chose to return back whence they came. And here they have once again left the illusory area back out into the vault of Garland, the treasure vault of the ancient king of the fallen empire. And found that as they left the illusion, many of their wounds that they had suffered while within were also illusory, and found they were not nearly as bad off health-wise as they thought they were. So that's the executive summary. So now the group is deciding what its next move is, as it continues to move through this ancient treasure vault turned dungeon lair of a lich in hopes of finding and liberating the ancient armor of Cord, the lost artifact. So, team, what's the call? You've left the illusion, you've found that a lot of your wounds have healed. Where will you go now?
I guess we just gotta pick another one of these and try to go through it. That or try and rest or something if we still need healing. Anyone else have any input?
Does anyone have a preference on a door to be going through?
We could try the one that I made the wall of stone of the floor with. That should be just outside and to the left. Not right on the screen, but left as you come down.
That's the one that kept taking us out.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, let's try that one.
Any objections or anyone advocating for a short rest or anything?
I mean, I wouldn't mind a short rest, but it's not necessary.
That's pretty much the boat I'm in.
What was that, Guaco?
It will give us spells back.
Right. You probably really need one, don't you?
Oh yeah, and it would give me my wild shape back.
That too sounds important. I'm up for a short rest.
Do we? Well, we certainly don't want to just take it in the middle of the hallway. Well, wait, no, no,
This room sounds good.
so we have the... Oh yeah, it's like the lock. I doubt the zombies could even open that. This might be a fairly safe place to take one.
And we did explore to the end of, to what seemed to be the end of this way, so it seems unlikely unless something is teleporting in that it would be coming from this particular illusion.
Well then, shall we take a break here?
Yeah, sure.
Up for the next push.
I'm good with that.
Okay. Then Cyrus and Jeb will stay nearby the group, and you're going to take 1 hour's rest.
That's the plan.
All right. Well then, you have 1 hour's rest. You have the benefits of a short rest. You may spend hit dice as you see fit, if you are hurt and want to. There are also simple activities that you can do for 1 hour, like read or talk or have a language lesson.
Language is not. Alright, how was that in self?
What was I trying to learn?
Remember that you are required to mark down what languages you're trying to learn and how many lessons you've had in increments of 1 hour, as that will be what you use as the modifier for your rolls when trying to communicate in the language. You need any hit dice there, Lair?
Oh, for fuck's.
I think that I'm... Yeah, that's a D8. Do you know where Beyond says how many you have left?
Well, I'm not quite up to max
Do
HP,
you know where
but
Beyond says how many?
much better.
If you click on take short rest,
We're
Oh, I
kinda.
spent none.
so just check off any 1 or 2 you want to spend, since it looks like. Remember that you add your for each die, not at the end. because they decided that since they hated regular healing, short rest healing would be okay.
And
Take short rest. And then you have to manually modify your HP. Because, you know, it would have been too hard to connect those two functions.
Short rest taken, and I'm up to
I healed
maximum
fully.
HP.
Good job. One more time there, Guaco?
No, I just said that short rest taken and I'm up to maximum HP.
Okay, sweet.
With 4.
Lucky duck.
Somebody didn't get flattened by a boulder.
I did.
You
Well-
did.
Yeah,
That wouldn't that HP come back though?
Half of it.
all of it.
Not all of it.
I'm close to max, but I'm not there.
I would like to take a little bit more time after the rest is completed, so that I may recast the telepathic bond.
It will be over.
That
You've-
certainly is worth the wait.
Yes, you find that during the during the short rest, you lose your telepathic link. There hadn't been much time left on it, but still. Okay.
Teach me Draconic during the rest.
I didn't pick up that question.
Teach me Draconic during the rest.
I know I can.
I mean, he has several
You have a
people.
preference on
Raiken
teacher?
can, Cyrus can,
Anybody
Mendes
does.
can.
Blair Mendes can.
So I guess this question
All
is.
three of us can at the same time.
Miss, was it triple the effective?
Probably worse than it.
It would not triple the effect. But you do have options. You are aware that these people can speak Draconic without asking, just because Dragonborn speak Draconic. You have noticed that Lara Mendes can speak Draconic, and I do believe Cyrus made it plain that he can speak Draconic.
Yep.
And you can
Hey,
cause
I
it to
asked,
teach
I
you.
asked one of them to teach me.
Okay. Who do you want to increase your personal bond with?
Yeah.
That's so
Hey,
Cyrus.
person, do you want to teach me? No.
No.
Here's a book.
Oh,
How about
right.
now? Boy, would I!
Yeah, you are him. I think if somebody offered you a book, you'd teach them anything they wanted to know. Save this. Alright, so you have a 1-hour Draconic lesson, Vendar.
Can I sit on that?
I believe so, unless Cyrus is going to specifically make it difficult for you to do so.
I certainly don't object.
Okay.
Okay.
Then the answer is yes.
Hooray.
Typically, to speak a language you don't speak for some reason.
Then each of you gains an hour of study in Draconic. Alright, short rest taken. Things seem pretty good. You finish up your lesson, people get up and stretch and feel good about themselves. Now what are you going to do?
Go back to the now fixed filling room.
The Haddy Hoodie Woody room?
Now fixed fling room.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay. So the party is going to go marching out this door. Yeah. Get out of here, you two. Okay, so you say, let's go back to the now fixed room that used to fling us, and you march out the door. And as soon as you get out the door, you're going to roll initiative.
Am I, though?
Ooh.
I mean,
Just close that door.
The door opens easily enough from the inside, but as it closes behind you, there's a, you know, a loud and echoing thump, and then a click as the locking mechanism reinserts itself.
Well, fuck me.
No thank you. Oh, you know what? I don't have to deal with either of these. I can open an incog window. Let's do that.
Guess we'll get the bad rolls out of the way at the beginning.
Sweet.
To make way for all the other bad rolls.
Yeah, you're just setting the stage for tonight.
I mean, it's pretty hard to go any lower. There's only three numbers that can be lower than that, than what I rolled.
I got a nat 20.
You'll manage it.
Did you?
Yep.
Holy crap, the guy who didn't want to roll initiative.
Yeah, I close the door and then just walk away. I just do it first.
Let's see here. The things I wanted to do was first grab images. Images. Oh.
Images of mages.
Images. Oh, it's so big. Why has it got to be so big?
Oh, I can't wait to see it pop up on the screen. Oh my gosh!
Oops, that's not what I intended to do. Yeah, that'll... Sure, why not? It makes me so sad. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna zoom right the hell in.
You'll say, well, you can't even tell what they are anymore at that point.
Yeah, no, I didn't like it. Alright. So, as you guys come marching dramatically, heroically out through the door, it's been quiet this whole time. You know, every time you were out in this area, there weren't any more mummies, and you had defeated everything along the path you had followed within the illusion. So you walk out feeling pretty confident, and you see, as you stop outside the door and it closes behind you, that there are 3 mummies, much like the ones you saw patrolling earlier, heading to the left, away from you, down this hallway. And I'm just throwing my dice. Yeah, it's a good roll, though. And as soon as the door thuds behind you and the lock clicks back into place, you're going to see them stop and then slowly, like, rotate their heads, like, just their heads around, just look at you. And then the body's slowly gonna follow to realign with the head.
Oh, that's weird.
That is the hope.
It would be even funnier just if their head went around, and then when their body started going around, their head still started going around with them, so then their head was looking the wrong way.
And then it has to lurch
then
back
it
on
turns
its own.
ominously back.
Alright, let's see here. Let's grab this. And where's this? Initiative. Okay. Let's see. Vendar got a 21 still. Leah got a 7. Wait, why am I doing it here? It's hard to do here. It's easier to do here. Jump. Edit. Alright, Vendar got a 21. Leah got a 7. Not that. Lara Mendes got a nat 20.
I still beat Raiken.
Everybody beat Raiken. What did Cyrus?
Not that hard.
What did Cyrus get?
11.
11. Yukikaze's not here. The bad guys got that. What did Jebel get? 22, I think?
2.
22. Alright. And what did Raiken get?
3.
3. Nice. Alright. And we'll
Dice
just,
aren't happy that I haven't been rolling them for 2 weeks.
we'll just roll for Yukikaze over here. Oh, Yukikaze did poorly.
Why not as poorly as Raiken?
Oh no, definitely not.
Nobody can do as poorly as right.
Nobody can do as poorly as Raiken.
You got us beat there.
You are unique in that regard.
Yeah.
It's almost impressive.
Oh,
I'd really like to see if only we had done like a chart to see how many times I've been at the bottom and see just the bottom rack up.
Okay, I think that's everything correctly. That looks right. Okay, cool. Which means I need to quickly go to D&D Beyond and get Raiken's sheet. He'll be joining us, but for this combat, until he shows up, I'll run him. Sign in with Twitch.
What is the percentage of initiative that Raiken got last?
Never tell me the odds.
You never know, I might roll a 20.
Just saying, that'd be like if there ever became an Everybody Loves Raiken trivia game.
That would be one of the questions. How many times has Raiken gone last? How many times has Raiken gone first? It's easy. None.
The answers are like 0, 5, 27, and yeesh.
That's not a number. That's got to be the right one.
It is the right one.
Alright. No, this is good. Right. Okay, so did I hit enter on that? Of course I didn't. That would be smart. Okay. Let's grab these. Holy. Still amazed that Laramendis is first. Boop. Done. There we go. There's the initiative order. Oh my god, Laramendis, your name is so long and the nat 20 comes right out of the box. We can't have that.
There you go, Laramendis. God.
You're becoming Lair.
I'll endeavor not to roll nat 20s on initiative anymore.
No, it's fine. You are forevermore Lair. Which was the intent anyway.
Shop off
His children like his child name? Because according to the book, elves change their names once they grow up.
Yeah, it depends on if you want to run it that way, but yes, the setting has included that since at least 4th edition. You are correct. I never asked Sam if he wanted to include that in his character, but he can feel free to talk about that if you ever want to ask him in character.
If it ever comes up.
This other name. How are the reasons for changing his name?
Had to flee the country.
Always have to
Actually,
flee the
Dragonborn.
country. Always have to flee the country. Okay.
God damn, bad guys roll high.
What?
I'm still waiting for Twitch to update on me. Right here.
Why am I in front? This is a problem.
Me too.
There we go.
This might be a mistake, but we're doing it anyway. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Laramendis, you are first. It looks like you should be able to see that you are at this 4-way intersection of a sort. It's a little offset. There is a purple wall to your north. There are 3 enemies to your west, and your crew will be around you. You confirm that's what you can see?
Yeah.
Cool. I like that the 3 Dragonborn are at the end.
I will.
You guys go first.
You do what?
Swedish response. I will ray of frost the farthest one.
Alright. Do remember that you are engulfed in a pillar of smoke, and it is bleeding out around you, potentially affecting your allies, so they haven't complained yet.
Okay. I will take a step north
I tried to.
and shoot the farthest one with a ray of frost
Alright. You take a step away from Leah.
for
You-
a 20. 20.
Alright, we will call them. Oh, that's why I did this.
So can I hide and learn Mentis this smoke?
How long can you hold your breath? And how comfortable do you want me?
I believe that you asked this before. You could hide behind it because it becomes effectively large size.
Just be like, Blair, duck. What? Oh!
I can use it for my final sight and hide. That's awesome.
It's a tall, dark pillar of smoke. I am looking for this. Edit in Google Docs. Come on. Oh god, too many pages. Oh, it keeps increasing the number of pages.
Had Vendar conveyed to Laramendus that he should go into positions that Vendar could use and then fall prone when he was in those positions?
You never talked. You guys have never talked
'Cause I
about
don't remember that discussion, so I'm continuing. Like my action is just a
Who's
step
thought
away.
about it now? So I'll
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah, you can have that
Alright.
discussion with me later.
Hang on. Another mummy. Mummy. And mummy. Mamu. Okay. So, for all intents and purposes, the one closest is 15, second farthest away is 16, and farthest is 17 at the moment.
Okay.
Ba-bum. And for simplicity's sake, this. No, stop that. This and this. Okay, good. That's good. And you said you hit the farthest one away, as I recall?
Yes.
Okay. Did you roll the attack?
Yeah, it was a 20.
A 20. Yeah, it's gonna hit.
Okay. For 9 frost damage or cold damage, and it is slowed by 10 feet.
Okay, he resists it, but he is slowed by 10 feet. That becomes a 4. Okay. So this one is slowed. Ta-da. See, this is a problem. Too many windows. Jebel is next.
And everyone's gonna run in anyway, and it's not gonna matter.
25. If I take step to the south
Huh?
and then I'm going to cast Produce Flame and throw it at the one that's nearest me. What did your number you said that was 16?
Yes, 16. 15, excuse me. The
15.
nearest one is 15.
Okay, then 15.
Yep. It also seems to have the least armor on it. or the least
Three.
thick armor.
Let me just see. Is 8. Well, that's a 14 to hit.
A 14 to hit, I'm afraid will miss.
Wait, no. Oh, hold on. Yeah, 14. Yeah. Okay.
So you toss flame, and it lands next to it. Kind of burns on the ground for a few moments, and then piddles out. Whoopsie. That was the wrong one.
That was anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Need this.
Do what you can.
Need this.
Do I get to join in now? Am I magically poofing back in, or what am I doing?
Well, you are magically poofing back into your character's head. I was going to be controlling him until you came in, and now you're here, so you get to control your character when it's your turn.
Yukikaze's dull eyes just lighten up a bit.
He feels suddenly invigorated.
He had seemed...
Just
Everything
hit.
seemed
Return
rote.
Vendar,
Oh.
you're up.
Okay.
Well, not now. Initiative 6! Just wait!
We're like,
Wow. You rolled low.
so what are
Yeah,
their
you can
armor?
only roll
like?
high for him.
One of them is wearing effectively hide armor, one is wearing chain armor, and one is wearing leather armor.
Alright, the middle one. Which one? What one's it?
Yeah, they're actually, it's the closest one is wearing the lightest armor, medium armor, and then the heaviest armor.
I'll shoot the medium one.
'Cause originally they were patrolling with the heaviest one up front, and you came up behind them. You're gonna shoot the medium one?
And yeah, I'll use sharpshooter on that.
Okay. Remember to declare the number twice, just to make sure it transmits.
20 to hit, a 20 to hit.
Alright, a 20 to hit will hit.
Hasn't had its turn in initiative. I get my
has not.
attack, right?
Yes, that is correct.
That's 30 magical piercing damage, 30 magical piercing damage.
30 magical piercing damage to number 16. He's not able to resist it because it's magical. So he takes the
Alright.
full brunt.
And then I'm gonna go down and hide on the corner there if I can.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet will get you here. Is that where you would like to try to hide? You can move 5 more feet. You know that you haven't yet broken line of sight.
Then yeah, I'll move 5 more feet and try to hide.
Okay. You feel like this is a better hiding place. You may roll it.
I got an at 20.
Okay. Good to know. Bum, bum, bum.
Here, so.
After Vendar is the bird guys.
Bird guys?
Yeah, the bird guys. 5,
Gnomish.
10, 15.
I've actually seen a bird gnomish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was at the British Museum.
Alright.
That gnomish.
Everybody in the highlighted area, please make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh yay, sandstorm.
As it sand attacks you.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Do.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Am I in the highlighted area? I'm still waiting for Twitch to catch up.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Ooh.
Raiken? Raiken
Mine's kind
photo?
of frozen, so am I in the highlight area? Sorry.
That's a big goof.
Ah!
So, there are
everybody's
people...
in the highlighted area except for Laramendis and Vendar.
Yes. The only people who don't have to make a save are Laramendis and Vendar.
What did you say it was again? Dexterity?
Dexterity.
Yeah, and I get Raiken's bonus, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's +6, so 8.
24.
Everybody gets Raiken's bonus. They're all
18.
21.
This is
I'm
what
debating whether or not to use inspiration.
This is this is
For
what
this?
I mean, I'm already kind of easy to chew. I don't need them to have advantage.
Nom nom.
They don't get advantage
Yeah.
from this. You just have disadvantage on attacks.
Okay, I thought it was Miss Blind, so I guess that was.
No, it's not the same as blind. But I have been debating changing up that whether it lasts for. I think I was just gonna leave it lasting for 2 rounds. Yeah. Just because there isn't the old.
Okay, I
40
got a
save
10.
You got a 10. Okay. So let me see. 10 fails. What did you get, Leah?
Dang.
I got 8.
You fail. What did you get, Raiken?
Well, duh.
I got 21.
You got 21. You succeed. Yukikaze, what did you get?
18.
18. You succeed. Jebel, what did you get?
I think it was 24.
You succeed. Alright, so, Cyrus and Leah, you are at disadvantage to make attack rolls for the next 2 rounds. Everybody else is fine, as this area gets coated in sand. He just inflates himself and breathes out a torrent of sand that tries to swirl into your eyes. 5, 10, 15, 20. This one is going to try to attack the nearest target. That doesn't look like it's armored. So, Cyrus. That is a 24 as it makes an unarmed attack against you.
I'm hit.
Okay. It's actually been so long since we fought these guys, I need to go look at my stat block for them. Okay, that is 7 non-magical bludgeoning damage.
Alright.
And then it makes a second attack where it's going to attempt to bite you. Let's get another d20 for that. Just so we have all the d20s out. Oh, well, that's an 11.
That's a miss.
Okay, it misses you with its bite attack.
Thankfully.
5, 10, 15, 20.
No!
It's just gonna sand attack too. So, yeah. Yeah. So, dexterity saving throws again from those 3 people: Cyrus, Yukikaze, and Jebel.
I did significantly better.
Okay.
19.
19. Alright. Then you are still just blinded or affected for attacking for the next 2 rounds. And Yukikaze, what'd you get?
I don't know. It's not that impressive. 25?
Yeah, you're good. Jebel?
18.
An 18. You're good too.
I almost rolled a 30.
Just can't. They can't seem to get their sand in your eyes. Alright.
Can I just give a description? It's like me just putting my blade up and I slice right through the sand and it separates away from me.
Yeah. You vacuum slash the sand, and it parts around you.
you do that wrong, and then it's just like, just.
Straight into your eyes.
Concentrate a bit more.
Cyrus, you're up.
All right. So let's see. Do I wanna? How much resources do I want to spend on this?
I just imagine him cutting through and it just funneling straight into his eyes. He's like, I knew I should have practiced this more.
So, 4th level fireball.
Okay.
Obviously just hitting them, not us, since there's that whole big back hallway. I'm sure that's possible.
Good thing there's no mirror behind them.
I know, right?
What was it? 20 feet on a side.
Yeah, it's a 20-foot radius.
20-foot radius. So that's not anywhere near big enough. Hold on. 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20. That doesn't seem right. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, that's correct. That's a fireball.
Booyah. Alright, so they're all going to make some dex saves while I make sure I have the correct number of dice and roll the damage.
Fireballs are so big. Sam, fireball's a burst 4.
Here's the fireball dice.
Derek,
What?
you gotta say hot stuff coming your way, or it won't succeed.
Oh my god.
Alright, let's see.
Things are heating up.
No, just Shining Force Neo. There was a character that used every time she used a big fire attack, she'd always scream out, "Hot stuff coming your way."
I think
So
that
you just
enemy
hear-
got the point.
So
I see some 6s and some 1s, so we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
10, 20...
Did you do anything to this fireball, or is it just a straight fireball?
It's a 4th level fireball. So I cast it at a higher level, that's it.
Okay. No, I just wondered if you had spent any sorcery points on it, but it sounds like you did not.
No, I don't have anything that can actually affect my AoEs for combat other than, like, quicken cast to have an action for something else.
Okay. Just wondering. Alright, so they each make a dexterity saving throw, right?
Correct.
They're incredibly good at those, so watch out.
3 nat 20s.
Oh, that's a natural 1.
That's almost like a nat 20.
It's like, that's a 4.
That's closer to a nat 20.
Oh, that one's a 12,
That's
which
even
is
closer.
a...
Continue at that rate.
still about a 12. So, I'm guessing all of those fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And I take 34 points of fire damage.
But
Or, sorry, 37. 37.
37 points of fire damage. Which means they all die. 2 of them are already hurt, and their max health is not 84 points. Okay, then.
I'm not dealing with these people today.
74 points, excuse me.
I'm not doing this.
So, yeah, this one did the best, and he's still at negative 4 HP. This guy had a lot of health, so he's only at 6 and 4 is 10. He's at negative 10 HP. Cool. The one who did worst was the one who got shot by Vendar first. These are just scorch marks now.
Alright. Next.
wait, so they all died?
Yep.
Because I specialize in fire, they specialize in dying to fire.
So, Yukikaze, that just became invigorated and less zombie-ish, is just really sad now. He has very sad face.
Combat is over.
Yeah. Quite well. Why don't you start with that next time? I say while I try to remove sand from my eyes.
What do you
Yeah.
think I did? That was starting with that.
It took you way too long. I got all excited for
It
nothing.
took him 3 seconds.
It was still too long.
Maybe you should
Everyone's
lead
a
with that next
critic.
time. Sorry. Said maybe you should lead with that next
Better
time.
reaction time,
Sorry,
damn
it's
it.
one-time use. Alright, dark. So yeah, you got some dead-ass zombies over here. Mummies, excuse me.
As I've learned, when it comes to mummies, my best defensive spell is Fireball.
Okay. Cyrus and Larmendus, you recognize this long hallway, which ends in these two doors. You know that when you were attending the wedding illusion, it was in that door there.
And we did think that this was the only door out of that room.
You went all the way around, and then went out the south. You found no other trace of any doors. There is a purple wall here to your north. I know you know that the only way in which you have interacted with this purple wall up north is to send Kubriel through it before, when you had Kubriel.
And it was 4 times, no long ago.
Huh. Wait. I've been selecting, like, highlighting things in blue. Oh, there it goes. It's just really delayed. Okay. I just watched it appear on Sam's screen. Like, alright. So there's the purple wall to the north. You've only ever sent Kubriel through it. And she told you that she saw the facade of a nice house. Vendar, you're over here looking down this hallway. So you are aware that it looks like this, with lots of doors. So, where would you like to go?
I believe the consensus was to go into the door that had the wall of stone created in the floor.
That was the consensus. I'm just giving everybody the updated knowledge of what they can see from here. This is kind of a crazy hallway. So I just want people to understand there are lots of doors to choose from. And I'm not going to remind you which door that was. So, purple wall. And I don't know, has it updated at all to show me scrolling around?
Yeah, you just looked at the wrong time.
Oh, okay.
Like scroll and then go see it. Nope, that's just.
Alright, so, which door does the party want to go through, knowing that there's like 12?
We have a
New
die
floor
that's
room.
12.
Huh?
So we have a die that's 12.
It's
Wait, are we like picking a spot to rest and recuperate or
No,
something?
no,
before
you
going
already,
back in?
you already did that.
Oh, if you had
Yeah, we never
wanted
told
to
them
spend
that, though.
anything for a short rest,
Oh,
you
that's
were
right.
able to spend things for a short rest because
Yes.
you took one.
I'm sorry. That's my bad, Malachi. I forgot that you weren't here for that. The group took a short rest before you arrived. Yes.
Got it.
Unfortunately, you
Alright.
can't spend anything because you were listless at that point.
So, you may spend as many hit dice as you want to regain health. Remember that every time you spend a hit die, you get to add your Constitution modifier to it. So, if you...
I am okay, I think.
Okay. You don't have to spend anything if you don't want to, but just mark it off if you do. You mark it off by going to the rest
Yep.
tab, and then, you know.
There's little dots. Yep.
Okay.
No, it was just the. Yeah, I luckily didn't get demolished with the mirrors, so I'm okay.
Okay. So, person who has taken up the mantle of leading this party to its doom, what door are you going to lead them through?
Who are you talking to?
You.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. Then, the new floor room.
Okay. Which door is that?
That is down this hallway and to the right on the map.
The right hallway where Vendar is?
Yep.
Okay. Well, leader in front. They killed leader. Alright, so you start heading down this way. And you find there's all these doors. Which door is it?
The one directly above us.
Okay.
First one to our north.
You open the door, and you find that you are correct. You find a room with your created floor. Which I need to look at my cheat sheet. That is that room. Grab these. Go in the room. Oh, I can zoom so far in now. Oh, you guys don't exist anymore. Get out of here.
Also, a quick question. I assume the sand no longer affects us since, it's been a few seconds?
Yep.
Alright, just wanted to make sure.
Sand is out of your eyes at this time.
They could have lived, but then they took away my other option other than fireball.
Alright, there we go. So this is a facsimile of the hallway you're in now. You're going to go in first and stand upon your stone floor.
Indeed.
Are you going to march straight across to the purple wall? Let's see if I can just sort of zoom in.
That is my plan.
There we go. Now I can see everything. Alright, is everybody else following?
Yep.
Okay.
I guess.
I did that thing again where I touched his damn roller. There it goes.
I thought Raiken was the one leading. It's for his armor. Or the armor he wants.
Cyrus has taken up the mantle of leadership.
Somebody's gotta do it.
Okay. You stand before yet another wall of purple, malevolent-looking energy.
Well, I suppose we shall be going through. Anyone else need to do anything before we head through? Is the telepathy up and everything?
I'm fine. We're just dawdling now.
I'm just making sure.
Oh my god. Okay. So, you are going to step through, huh?
That is the plan, yes.
Okay.
What order are we going in?
What?
Uh,
I think this order.
I'm still waiting for Twitch to check up.
Sorry.
Now we gotta do our rolling, right?
Yep.
If we're vomiting all over the place.
Constitution saving throws all around.
And we don't get Raiken bonus because it's passing through zone lines.
Right. Zone lines are the one place you don't get his bonus.
Does Raiken still get his bonus?
Raiken still gets his bonus because it's coming from him.
Because it's Raiken.
Because it's Raiken.
I wasn't sure if the distortion would distort it.
It's coming from
It's
within
funny.
him, technically, so it's just not letting
Yeah,
it
but
get.
it's fun to fuck with Raiken. So I mean, that is a good move. I would roll very poorly if I rolled an 8
All right,
Con save.
Cyrus, what'd you get?
26.
All right, you're fine. Leah, what'd you get?
I'm working on it. My dice ran away.
All right, Vendar, what'd you get?
13.
One more time.
13.
13. All right, you're fine. Jebel, what'd you get?
12.
12. You're fine.
Okay,
Larmendus,
I got
what'd you get?
18.
13.
13. And Leah, you said 13?
18.
18. You're both fine. I know that you guys haven't moved up on my grid here yet, but we know that you're going to. I'll just do this. We can do that. Raiken, what'd you get?
20.
20. You're fine. Yukikaze, what'd you get?
He steps through, and then I'm like, I think I'm getting used to this. 26.
26. You're perfectly fine.
You puke.
It was starting to feel real nasty earlier, but after that short rest, you feel like you've really settled out, and you can handle these again.
Alright.
Alright.
I was hoping that'd be the case.
Yep. Alright.
So I don't have to continue any rolling ridiculously.
Because they actually pukes for feeling too good going through there.
You
No.
better not aim that at me.
You step through the barrier, fighting off the nauseating effect of that feeling of teleportation, and you find yourself standing in the starlit dunes with the sand and wind swirling around you, and I realize that I still have combat music playing. Give me one moment.
I ended it too
Oh, that's
quickly.
nice
Things have
music.
broken down.
It was good 8-bit music.
Indeed.
I do like some of that 8-bit music.
Man, I'm getting warm. Let me know if you hear my fan. Cool off.
Oh, thank you for turning off the air conditioner, Sam.
You wanted it off?
I generally don't, but it creates a real loud hiss on the recording.
It's actually not bad. I don't hear it today.
It's off right
Oh.
now. It was on earlier.
No,
I was.
mean,
Better than that.
Ugh.
Okay. There we go. You didn't hear it earlier, Guaco? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh. I think that maybe Discord cuts it out, but OBS doesn't. So
yeah.
even if you're not hearing it, I will hear it once I put the recording on YouTube. Alright, so
OBS.
you are on the starlit dunes of a sandy desert at night. The wind and grains of sand blow around and over you, and it's quite cold feeling. You can feel the grains of sand as they whisper over your armor and clothing and across your faces and exposed skin. And you find that you are standing before the maw of a giant worm as it is protruding out of the sand.
A house, eh?
I say.
It does look like a giant purple worm you fought earlier. Or, not like the one you fought, but it resembles one like that one.
Is it dead?
It does not appear to be moving as you watch it warily.
Doesn't mean it's not dead.
How far from us is it?
Cyrus is practically touching it.
Oh.
That's
Cyrus,
fine.
touch it.
How about you touch it? Doesn't one of you have like a immunity to poison or something?
Wait, is it between us and the door?
Yeah, no, there's a door.
Oh, yeah, okay, fine. That's true.
So, could someone who has at least like a resistance or something to poison come touch this thing just in case?
Well,
Why
why
do
don't
you-
we not touch it and just walk around it and see if we can figure out where to go in here?
I agreed with that.
Ah!
Be my guest.
I made Cyrus too big.
So, yeah. Can we, like, slowly move around it and see if we can figure out this room?
Cyrus is not capable of moving slowly.
It's,
Yeah.
well, but if he can't see where to go, won't he accidentally... You should make a roll to see if he accidentally runs into a wall. Because he can't see those walls, right?
You are correct. He cannot see those walls.
Well, I mean, the plan would be to just kind of like run in place or in a small circle so that I know that I'm not hitting anything.
Why didn't we go through touching the wall?
So, you see those little white squares? That's why I was not able to make floor.
Well, I haven't changed the way I face. So I wanna walk left. I'm saying this out loud. I wanna
I
walk
don't
left.
think they
Okay.
fully reach on this side either. I
Well,
think it's at the same pattern.
But they reached before we passed through.
Yeah, no, I'm going based on the walls that were there when we walked in. So there should be possibly about 15 feet that way or 10 feet that way a wall, based on
That
the
doesn't
previous
mean that the
row.
wall of stone extends to the wall.
That's what I'm gonna find out. I'm not gonna keep walking past 15 feet, but I want to walk 15 feet slowly that way.
Slowly that way?
And just watch him get
Yes.
launched back.
Okay.
Slowly that way.
All
All right.
To the left.
Then I only want to know one thing: is anyone going to try and stop him from doing this when he starts moving? And I mean
No.
physically.
I would, but I can't.
I'm going to try and reiterate. The trap might still be on the floor and triggerable.
What?
You step off of the wall of stone. Not the wall of the room, the wall of stone, which is now the floor. Please do not step off of the wall of stone.
It's too late.
Unless you wish to see what the trap is.
Wait,
like I said,
I thought the wall of stone was all that brown area.
Yeah,
on the
it is.
screen.
the wall of stone is all the brown area on the screen.
It's also inside the purple area, but you don't know where it all is because you can't see the wall of stone anymore because you're in the illusion.
It's true. So, like I said, I only wanted to know if people were going to
Did you-
physically. Excuse me.
Or did you say something?
No, he tried to. I asked if anyone tried to physically stop you, and they did not. It was too late to stop you with words. That's why I asked for physical stopping. So you attempt to walk 15 feet straight to your left, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
You don't get my bonus either.
Well, we're in the same zone though, right?
Yeah,
But you don't get my bonus, so I'm too far away from you.
It's true.
No. Why do you have to be on the other side? You're useless.
I mean, technically that's where Tristan put me, so...
How will a 20 do me?
A 20 is fine. You stumble, but you catch yourself. And then you plant your hands against a wall as you're stumbling forward. You manage not to injure yourself as you unexpectedly hit an invisible barrier in the sky next to you. And your foot falls down so that it looks like it's in contact with the sand. And for the first time, you're aware that everybody else is standing about 3 inches off the sand.
Ah. So I'll communicate this to sorry, they can all hear me anyways, right? This is
Yes, Rary's telepathic bond was reinstated.
Well, whatever way they can all hear me the best. I'll be like, so I haven't triggered the trap, but it does seem like I stepped off the stone, which I guess didn't go all the way over this way. But I found the wall.
Alright, now go forward until you hit the corner.
Do we if there is even a corner, do you want me to proceed, or will you guys are like kind of? Did you guys vocalize some stuff as I was moving?
I said what I was saying to you as you were falling.
Okay, good. So, do you
And then
want
I'm going to prestidigitate a rock.
before I move forward, before I do anything else, do you want me to stay here? Am I going to proceed? What? Like, do you think it's safe to proceed?
I aim my rock 5 feet above Yukikaze's head.
You throw a rock at him?
No, I throw a rock at the wall.
I understand that.
I just make sure
Yeah,
that
but
he
it's
will
also-
notice it.
Okay.
There's also Laramentis who
roll
tosses it.
a thrown attack, improvised weapon.
You might as well be at him.
Don't throw a rock at me.
What'd you get?
Bad.
No!
Exactly.
Was it a 1?
No, it was not a 1.
Okay.
What is it? It's a 6.
That's 6.
The rock glances off the wall's armor.
The rock glances off of Yukikaze's helmet and hits the wall behind him.
Who the heck did that?
I was
What are
trying
you
to find the
doing?
wall. I found it.
I found the wall. I'm touching the darn thing.
Rocks are great.
They're great, especially when they try to make off with boats.
Alright, Yukikaze, go forward until you hit the next wall.
Do
You
people
want me
not
to?
want to just keep throwing rocks at the wall until we find the other wall?
I like the rock plan.
Alright, well, yeah, go ahead and throw rocks, I guess.
Okay, well, next time don't throw it at Yukikaze, throw it in front of him.
Yeah, way in front of me.
I
Like-
did throw it in front of him. It just hit a wall.
Oh, you hit him! You threw it at him!
Above me.
Like,
You didn't say
it
forward.
skipped-
You threw it above me.
it skipped off his helmet and hit the wall. It was fine.
Children, calm down. We have a number of things trying to kill us. We don't need to be arguing over something so stupid.
I don't want to be pelted by rocks.
Raiken's going to find a rock and throw it.
That's right. You haven't been
Forward
in this
in
party
front.
for that long. have you?
Alright, you look around at your feet. You see nothing but sand.
I made
And then
a
you
rock.
notice really disconcertingly, I know you made a rock. You notice really disconcertingly that your feet aren't touching the sand. You're floating above the sand by like
Oh my
3
god, I'm
inches.
flying!
You are.
Guys, look, I'm flying.
Raiken, use common sense. Jeez. Anyway.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Laramendes is offering you a small rock in the palm of his hand.
Raiken will take it.
Do I see this?
Thank him.
Did he
and
turn?
then
Do I
No.
see this?
I don't see why you wouldn't be able to see
not
this.
flying.
Don't do it. I don't want that. Do the other direction.
No, Raiken's throwing it forward.
So, north.
Oh, that's what he meant by forward. 'Cause
Yeah,
I interpreted it forward. It's in front of Yukikaze.
yeah, I know. I didn't correct because that is the problem with the way he was communicating, but I knew what he meant. But in any event, so you throw a rock to the north, I understand, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a to hit.
God damn it!
It hits you. You
Blood.
can't.
Yeah, it's Yukikaze.
You throw a rock at the ground and miss. It flies.
Yes.
Of all the times!
I get it.
the rock bounces off the top of the maw of this purple worm that's this chitinous beak-like protrusion, and as it bounces, it ricochets back and like skitters across the sky, across the raised stone ground that you're standing on next to Leah. There's going to be kind of this hollow, and the mouth kind of settles just a little bit, just like
Oh,
an
God.
inch.
Touch nothing but the lamb.
A diamond.
Where did the rocks get to?
It's like right back at Laramendes' feet.
I think he means how
Alright,
far.
Raiken wants to try again.
I didn't like this. I don't like this.
Okay,
Wow.
I'll allow you to pick it up and throw it again. Is anybody giving Yukikaze any instruction on what they want him to do? Otherwise, I'm going to just tell Yukikaze he can do what he wants.
I mean, Raiken did say go forward, but nobody wanted to do that. We wanted to throw rocks, so Raiken's now throwing a rock again.
Forward for him is the trap.
You don't know if there's a trap there.
We know there's not a thing protecting us from the trap there, and that's good enough.
So how many squares does the purple worm take up in front of us? Is it
well,
4? Is it 2?
Purple worms are gargantuan creatures, so what you see is a just absolutely massive mouth sticking up out of the ground and rising up, 10 feet or so above you as it's still partially buried. And it's in such a way that, sand is kind of filling the bottom of its tooth-filled mouth, such that you could walk straight in. And
Raiken throws it at the hole.
like where its throat is.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait.
Roll a hit.
Wait,
What? Sorry.
I was gonna say, it's like we might as well just walk into its mouth, because if this is the wall here, I think the only way through is through his mouth.
Oh, we're gonna find out. Raiken throws.
Raiken throws.
I mean, if you want to go back to another purple worm, be my guest.
Okay, so on improvised, is it just the roll, or is there any added to it?
Well, usually with improvised, you just don't get your proficiency bonus.
Okay, then it's 19.
Okay. You throw, like, straight at the center of the thing's open mouth, trying to get it to go down its gullet, and, like, it almost appears to hit an invisible barrier right in the middle of its mouth, and there is a thuck noise, as though hitting a hollow piece of wood, and it bounces back toward you.
Alright, found the door.
I really hope that opens out.
Right there. So Cyrus, open it.
I will attempt to find the door and see if I can open it.
Okay. Just so that you understand, you are literally reaching forward with your hands and stepping toward, like, you're going to walk into this thing's mouth. And you saw when he hit it with a rock, it seemed to move a little bit.
The first time I've been inside one of those.
Let's go exactly where the rock hit.
You know what? I still think someone immune to poison should be doing this.
As you continue leaning forward, protesting to your party all the while, you find that well before you come anywhere near any of its teeth or the insides of this creature, your hands stop on a hard surface that seems to be perfectly vertical and smooth.
And is it wood, stone?
It seems to be wood.
Okay.
You knock against it with your hand, and it seems to be a hardwood, though you can't see any features of it.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna walk back the same direction I came from, not deviating from my path.
So
Okay.
then I will attempt to try and find a handle or latch of some kind.
You feel around on the door, sliding your hands over this invisible barrier within the mouth, the terrifying mouth of this creature, and finally, as you slide left and move it up and down, trying to find the middle of this door, you find your hand is lower than you expected, given that you are a halfling. You were reaching up for the handle. You find that it's much closer to, like, a normal spot, and that's when you remember, oh, you're standing on your floor that you created, which was above the ground. And you do
It's an
find a
extra
latch.
full 3 inches.
Well, 3 inches plus, but yeah. You do find a latch.
I attempt to turn and push.
You turn the latch, and it works. And you push against it, and it swings inward away from you.
Okay. Cool.
As near as you can tell, nothing about the worm changes. It still looks like you're looking down its very realistic gullet.
So the door's open. Who's first?
I'll go first.
Yukikaze
Right this way.
marches up to the front of the group and muscles you aside as he moves into the doorway as you indicate it with your hands. All of you see him stepping boldly into the mouth of this creature and then begin to disappear down its throat.
May I suggest doing so cautiously?
I
as
am.
if one is dodging.
I am.
You are declaring a dodge action?
With my advice from my compatriot, yes.
Okay. Also roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I hope I still got my vigor. And survey says... Ooh, not bad. 19.
All right. You slide through and
I'm
land.
getting used to this.
You feel okay. And is everybody else gonna follow suit?
Telepathy first. So perfectly fine over there, right?
Did anything happen to me, Tristan?
Well, you disappeared down the throat of a worm. Let's see which.
Which is not uncommon for you.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Well, when you fail once, try again.
Wait, you wanted to die in that? What's the hell getting you out of there?
Well, I did something stupid enough to end up being eaten in the first place.
Got it.
Anyways.
Never save Hikaze from a purple
No,
worm
no,
again.
no. Save me, please. I would appreciate it. Anyways, what do I see? Give me a second so I can see what's over here.
You see what could only be described as a wine cellar.
Anyone thirsty?
You find yourself standing upon the dusty floor of a room that is most definitely underground, given the dark and cool nature of it, and you find that along the walls, approximately arranged like so,
Guys, I have a question. Guys, I have a question for you. Do you think illusionary wine will get me drunk?
Yes.
Ooh, this should be fun.
If you believe it will.
Apparently I am in a wine cellar, so everything looks decent. Just come through.
Alright, then I will go through as well now.
Now, I will step to the side also, so people can come in.
Alright. So each of these 2x2s is a large wine cask on its side. Give me a second. I have to remember the name of it because it's a really stupid name. You know what I'm thinking of, right?
Save some for me, will you?
The thing that you plunge into it to tap it.
Like a cork?
It's got a gross sounding name. Bung. It's called a bung. Yeah. That's what it is. None of them in here, none of the ones you can see along this wall have been bunged. These ones over here against the far wall, the smaller 1x1s, these 3 over here, these are smaller, you know, man-carryable, well, man-sized, I should say, man-sized barrels. These other ones are very large. They're stood up on their end.
Alright.
It is dark in here, so I would say dim to no light. So without dark vision, you're not getting a lot of details. That was this room.
Well, I still have a whole bunch of stuff with me, more likely. My bag. I think I have a torch in there. My bag of goodies.
Wow, that worked out better than I thought it would.
Boom. So, yeah. Do you think we can get drunk? Take a little breather?
Please don't.
We don't have time for that.
13.
I know, unfortunately.
There's a 13 to go through the...
Yep.
Okay. That didn't feel good.
That's fair.
That was a real rough one.
I got a 26 for the door.
You're good.
I get a 17.
Okay, Vendor.
Got a fucking 6.
Would you like
Got
laser?
a 6.
I heard. I'm just moving you over here so that you can properly throw up on the square that Jebbel's standing in.
Oh, God.
You're welcome, Jebel.
There we go. Nice and vomity. What did...
Come on, guys, already?
what did Raiken get?
16.
16, you're good. What did Jebbel get?
17.
17. What?
What was Jibbles deck save?
What did Yuki? Yuki was fine. Okay, so Jebbel as you squeeze into the room as the rest of the group squeezes around you. Make a dex save.
7.
Okay, well, you managed to get out of it, but you trod a good distance through, puke. Smells bad.
Oh, I imagine. Jeff was just like scraping his feet off things.
Vendar looks very, unwell as he stands next to the pile.
I'm gonna walk away.
Squeeze past.
Step onto the stores. I like it.
I'm gonna carefully look around the corner in case there's something hiding behind there.
Okay. You have dark vision, so you can see that there are
Ash is
wine
also
casks.
Here.
Huh?
Ash is also here.
Ash is here, that's right. So the people who don't have dark vision are doing much better because the area around Larmendus is lit. You have the stats on exactly how far. But with your dark vision, with Ash illuminating things, you can see that this area is filled with wine casks. And you can see that this one, the farthest one in the lower right corner, that one has a bung put in it.
I'm gonna use dancing lights to try and light up the areas that don't have any light.
Okay, so you want to, like, put them in between the casks?
Yeah,
One,
just
two,
wherever is
three.
just completely dark, because I don't want there to be a space that I can't see.
I mean, I can do this, and that'll, you know, definitely illuminate those areas over there. This area around you is already lit up by ash.
I'm gonna walk up to a
Works for me.
casket and I want to touch it.
They're called casks, not caskets. And...
I said cast.
Okay.
Tiny cask. It's a casket.
I'm pretty sure it said caskets.
No, the Discord must have did something to it because I said cask.
Okay, so you walk up to the nearest cask, which is this one.
Ash is 2020.
Ash is 2020. Okay, so that means that you have bright light out to where Leah is and all the way to the wall. 5, 10.
I'm casting a shadow.
Yeah, you're casting shadow, and then there's dim light out to here. So, you know, you except for where the corner is, that's your line for where dim light ends. Cool. But then it's dim light over there anyway because of dancing lights. All right. Now then, you reach out and touch the cask.
Reach out and touch cask.
It feels like old wood, and as your hand hits it, there's a thrum that runs through it, and you can feel the vibration of your hitting the cask with your hand as carried by whatever liquid is within.
Okay, this is solid. Alright, guys, I'm gonna slowly proceed over to the wall and see if that's a wall. Just an FYI. So I'm gonna work my way along the cask to the wall very slowly and try to touch the wall.
Okay, so you're gonna walk into
Yep, I'm gonna
this.
see if the wall is actually a wall or not.
Okay. You reach out, following, resting a hand on the casks to either side of you, finding that as you go down, they are coarse, aged wood. You can feel still where they've been oil slicked to make them more watertight until you hit the wall at the far side, and it seems to be made out of sod or clay.
Alright. I'll say. Wait, that's different from the walls, the dungeon walls.
Outside, they seem to be made of stone.
Alright, I feel solid wall here. My hand's not going through it, and it's not the same as the castle walls. Or the dungeon walls. It's not stone. Just an FYI.
You've all been
Should
made aware
we-
of this.
Should we spread out and kind of feel ourselves around here, or
Can we see the other door?
Yeah, your dancing lights are casting dim light in that area, and you can see, in their dim glow, that there is a old wooden board door with gaps in it. It sort of resembles that door that was covering up the cave in the illusion with the oasis.
All right.
Like, it's similarly aged and shoddily made.
Are there any marks on the casks to denote years or facility
Ownership.
or anything like that?
Yes, there are markings on some of them, which seem to have been painted on toward the top, around the ridge. And they appear to be family names from your knowledge of. I mean, you can roll history, but you've been checking this area of your expertise a lot lately. You feel like these are names that feel like they're from the Empire of the Four Queens. The year on these casks, however, is anywhere from 600 to 800 years ago.
Okay.
so? Since no one said anything to me, Tristan, I am gonna walk around the cask that's to the east, and I'm gonna leave my hand, or like you know how you walk and you drag your hand along something. I'm gonna keep doing that,
Yep.
and careful not to get splinters.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you've got dragon scales, so it's difficult to do that. Plus, you're wearing a gauntlet, which is leather, so it's very difficult to do that.
If anyone could find a way, though.
It'd be Yukikaze.
I'm looping around, just gonna go down and in, down and in, down
Okay.
and in.
You follow it around. It feels solid, and as you drag your armor-plated gauntlet across it, you can still feel that vibration, the thrum that runs through the liquid within. As you turn this corner, you find that there is a glowing orb of light, this yellow square up here, floating, just sort of floating at the end.
Yep. I can walk through it, can't I? It's
Yes.
dancing lights.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk through it. So
Okay.
I know it's dancing light.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say as I'm doing this walking, you guys coming?
Alright, so you're down and in, you come back out, and you start going around the other way. So, Yukikaze is lazily making his way toward that end of the room, following the edge, as he described.
Yep, I'm looking for anything that feels different.
Okay. So, as he's slowly doing that, is anybody else taking any particular action? Is anybody looking for anything?
I will
I'm going to
quickly,
the center of the room.
move around the room because I have no other choice,
Move east to be more. in the center
and
of that
start making my way
space.
towards the door.
Alright, so you're going to move toward the door, Cyrus?
Yep.
Yeah, so Laramendus also drifts in that direction as you move over. As per usual, you find it is impossible to stay at rest, and you have to march, jog, and move about constantly.
Jebba will head in that direction too. Keeping an eye out, just see if there's anything interesting.
Okay.
I'm going that way too.
These are interesting. There's always some interesting things because you just went from a desert into someone's basement, and their basement seems to be full of what has got to be a fortune in wine. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 casks bigger than a horse that contains wine, and they're marked with the names of vineyards, supposedly, and years that correspond to a time period some 600 to 800 years ago.
I don't see the Kuvara name anywhere, do I?
Why doesn't
I don't
this
know if
place
they're vendors.
stink?
This place does stink.
Well, okay, it does.
Yeah. It smells of wine.
Well, yeah, but I meant like, yeah. Anyway, it was in character though.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
These things are very old. Like,
Indeed.
why is there no mold? Why they're not bad?
It could be that this is like it was many years ago. The wedding occurred sometime between 800 and 600 years ago, as it was after the first queen, but before the second or something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head. There was, I narrowed it down a little bit, or it was after the second.
Right. It was
Yeah,
between
it was
the
after-
second
it
and
was after
fifth
the second.
queens. It was somewhere between 500 and 700 years
Yeah.
ago.
And so, if most of the places that we are seeing have some relation to Minuet, that could be the reason for the dates being like that.
Yes. You do find the Kuvara name here.
Okay.
Some of the smaller casks bear it.
I'll point that out to everyone.
Laramundus points out that a couple of the smaller casks against the wall with the door in it are marked with the name Kuvara. It says Kuvara Growing Vines. And they're marked with years that correspond to about 578 years ago. I can say exactly, actually. It's like, you know what year it is. The other ones are ranges because they're kind of all over the place. These ones all seem to be from the same year.
Okay. Cool.
So you're saying that this illusion show us up and like the past, like that girl we saw, like the scene with the staircase.
Yes, I believe most of the illusions are created from her memories in some way or another. Although, given her long unlife, presumably, her memories could be anywhere from then to now. But I believe that most of the things we've seen have been taking place while she was alive. Truly.
Hmm.
Well, we should move on. There's nothing interesting in here.
Is it odd that the Lich has all these illusions up of memories from when she was alive?
Well, most things you make an illusion of are going to be either something plain or from your own memories. It's hard to make something you haven't seen before.
No, really not. That's not what I
Only
meant.
The only thing I find odd about it is that she's a Lich of Vecna. Why wouldn't she want to keep this stuff secret?
I would argue that this is a fairly good place to keep most things secret, as most people won't make it here.
And even if
Well,
they
but
do,
wouldn't a secret be better kept if it was not made into an illusion?
What if the secret isn't the illusion? What if the secret is something that the illusion is hiding?
I mean, he makes a fair point. We've actually seen none of the rooms we've actually been in.
Could be murals or other things on the walls.
That's kind of terrifying.
Or what if none of the memories we've seen have been entirely accurate?
They could conceivably be fabricated, but to what end?
Yeah.
To hide secrets? Isn't that what Vecna does?
If it was assumed that people could make it here and then make it out, I would be more willing to believe that the information here is purposefully deceptive to the illusory information. The illusion hiding things that could conceivably be useful information for someone seems entirely reasonable to me.
But if
I
if
don't
this was
see a
the-
good reason for the illusions themselves to be lies, as no one has made it out of here alive.
But if this was never designed for anyone to see it, why make it at all?
It was
Could be for
designed
her.
for her.
I don't follow.
She might be just.
I can relive her
Reliving.
memories.
I'm not sure if I explained the bedroom that I was in properly. It seemed to just be. It didn't seem to hide anything. It seemed like a place of comfort that one might go to if one wanted to be surrounded in their childhood or their youth.
So you're saying that she's reminiscent?
Yes.
That's kind of sad.
She misses something from her past, as does everyone given enough time.
And she's been given a lot of time.
She has taken a lot of time.
Indeed.
Yes. I think we should probably keep moving.
Very well.
Where would
Unless
you
there's
like to
something
go?
else in this room.
There doesn't appear to be anything in this room but dust, wine, and memories.
So, to the next door?
Alrighty.
To the next door. That's where I'm going. I'm hoping someone's coming with me.
The group,
I
I
am.
imagine? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I see Cyrus heading towards the door, I'll follow.
Yeah, I'm still doing the thing I said I was doing.
Yep, you, as they were talking about it, you did make it over to these casks. You could be the first through the door if you so choose.
Do it. You're not squishy like me.
Are we going through now?
Yes.
And the rest of the group seems to be gathering up.
Is there anything else in this room that you would like to investigate further?
Not me, no. Alright, I don't see any objections. Tristan, I will proceed through the door.
Okay. We'll just have you fan out on this wall like so. Boop. What color this? Like so. Okay. So, you head through the door. Con saving throws.
I have historically not been good at those.
16.
Alright, you're alright.
I continue to.
21.
Those.
You don't throw up again.
Oh, this time. Last time, but this time I'm fine.
Yep.
I got 16.
Alright.
They keep going down like nearly 1 point every time I go through.
It's gonna be a problem at some point. Cyrus,
What?
what'd you get?
I said 18. Or 16, sorry.
Did I hear that? Okay. Raiken.
Did you get that?
No, I didn't. I heard you go.
16.
Huh. Okay, you're good. Jebel.
19.
19. You're good. And I think I don't. I think I didn't hear Yuki.
You also didn't hear me.
I'm currently indisposed, so can you roll for me?
Yeah.
Don't roll crappy.
Okay. It's okay. I rolled a 6.
That's what I got on die.
12.
That's a 12. All right.
That's better than I got. Because I got an 8.
You got an 8. So you remember that book is still in your hand.
Yes.
It is.
Is it now?
No, I mean it's still there.
Okay.
That's just impressive
Yes.
because
I can do
it
some
was
good-
part of the illusion, wasn't it? Huh?
Well, I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah.
Not
well,
after it made it out the first time.
made it out of the illusion entirely.
There was the thing with the armband though, which was interesting.
It was.
Bracelet.
Yes. Okay, so what did you get in total? 12, and you got an 8.
I did get an 8.
Is there anybody you're feeling not particularly fond of?
Not particularly.
How about this? Takarabaco.
There's a treasure chest that I'm gonna vomit on.
Yeah. You want to do that?
I suppose I can vomit on the treasure chest.
Okay, cool. You enter the room and Laramenda seems to sort of stumble in, just go, oh god, and he seems to coat something. This room is oddly empty. It's like it's shaped almost round. I know it appears square here, but it's almost like an octagonal room. And on each of the facet walls of the octagon, in this case, is a stained glass window. These appear to be depicting people, usually fine clothes, definitely like humanoid culture, not gods. You will notice that they all depict people of dark complexion. And there is light streaming in through them, illuminating the room in a rainbow of colors. And in the middle of this round room is a dais, a raised dais, that area that Laramendus just threw up on. And on top of the dais is an ornate-looking chest. And on the far side of the room, between two of the stained glass pieces, is another door. And there is a single shaft of light coming down and falling upon the dais, illuminating the chest, making it look almost immaculate, except for the vomit.
Yeah. Can't have things be too nice. It's the stained glass windows, are they floor to ceiling or are they like
They're not floor to ceiling, but they are large.
Okay.
So they start, about 3 feet off the ground, and they end about 3 feet from the ceiling. And the ceiling is, 15 feet up.
Mm-hmm. And there is not one above the door on either side, or there's
They're sort of on either side. They're smaller things, and they're not images. They're just colors. The room appears to be made out of cut stonework, brickwork, perhaps. It's all pale, like sandstone. Everybody pick that up?
Pale sandstone, brickwork, chest in the center that just got puked on.
Just got puked on, and this seemingly magical beam of light falling upon it, causing it to glow with a warm radiance, even though you look up and there doesn't appear to be any hole in the ceiling for light to pass through.
Are there 2.5 stack of iron underneath it?
No. There's just this dais that appears to be a mosaic, though you couldn't tell what the mosaic is of since the chest is covering it.
I need a minute.
Well,
I'm gonna go sit down over there, and then I head in a direction. You don't see me point because I am smoke.
Vendor, I believe, suggested that's your thing.
Alright, yeah, I'll poke at the chest, see what I can find out.
Do you ask someone to clean it first?
Yeah.
I clean it.
You prestidigitate the vomit away.
I'll check for traps and if it's locked.
Okay. You begin moving carefully around this dais and fucking Cyrus is running around trying to burn off energy. He seems completely irreverent to what's going on.
He passes by me, he notices a patch of cold, and he hears the muttering of the spell for Ray of Frost as I'm, like, cooling the ground next to me to... Actually, no, it's the wall. I'm cooling the wall and I can lean my head
Your head against it.
Frost spreading.
Yeah. There is that. Frost spreading over the stones next to Laramendus as he appears to be casting a spell constantly there. What did you get on your perception test?
Passes 25.
Passes 25. Alright, so you do a full circle of the dais, making sure not to touch it, and examine it as best you can, and looking up and down the chest, looking for any kind of hint of a mechanism or something that could spring at you were you to touch it in the wrong way, before you begin prodding at it with, tips of your scimitar to make sure there isn't any pressure mechanism or anything like that. And after several minutes of Vendar meticulously moving about this thing and looking for any possible way that it could hurt him, he seems to become convinced that it's perfectly safe.
Alright, and then I'll use my magic lockpick to try to open it if it's locked.
Okay. There is a rather large padlock on the front of it, crafted in gold, sort of heart-shaped in that it rounds out at the top to either side of the locking mechanism. Then it kind of comes down. It's actually more, you realize it's more butterfly-shaped than heart-shaped, but it looks like it takes an obnoxiously large key. You wave your magic lockpicks at it, and it falls open.
Okay, we open the chest.
Okay. You remove the padlock, setting it carefully aside on the dais, and lift the lid. A cloud of dust springs forth from within, and you find yourself choking on it. And as you wave the dust out of your face, it's just got this old, decayed smell to it. There is within what appears to be about 6 inches tall and 8 inches long, a wooden carved horse with a mounted rider who appears to have a tower shield on one side and a lance in his hand.
What is a statue or carving?
Yeah, like a wood carving of a horse with a jouster on its back.
All that's in there?
Yep.
Can I move it?
Yep, you can pick it up if you would like. It moves around freely.
Oh. Oh, this was all that was in there.
He's showing it to you guys, telling you that's all he found.
Alright.
Interesting.
Are there any kinds of identifying marks on it to indicate anything about this rider? Do any of the stained glass windows
Just
look
who it
like
might
they
belong
be
to.
do we see a shield like that and like someone that could be the same person, or?
There is a crest on the shield of the rider. It does not seem to match anything on any of the stained windows. The stained windows in the room itself also seems to have kind of an immaculate feel to it, and so the dust and time-worn nature of the interior of the chest and this wooden rider seem to be very out of place.
There's no like nothing like carved into it, like initials or anything.
As a
or
matter
any
of
kind of
As a matter of fact, there is. On the bottom of it, there does seem to be a name carved onto it. Or perhaps that's what it is. Do you speak Gnomish?
no.
Yeah, there's something carved down there in Dwarven script.
Can I tell if it's dwarven or do I just?
Do you speak dwarf?
Yeah, this looks like gibberish.
Do you speak Dwarvish?
Off of like, because obviously we've come across dwarven stuff before. Do I recognize this to be something of dwarven?
And what was that thing that you bought in Tuca?
I don't know. I can't.
You got a couple of slap chops with it?
Yeah, the slat chops and the. Hold on, what?
Can't remember the name.
Dwarven slice saucer from Arcosia.
The Dwarven slice processor from Arcosia. It definitely seems to have the same script on it as the Dwarven slice processor from Arcosia.
Oh, who speaks dwarven?
I
raise my hand.
Okay. You recognize these letters and you begin sounding them out, and it's complete and utter gibberish.
I think this is dwarven.
So,
Dwarven
I'm gonna
script.
take a look at it.
Uh-huh.
Because I've seen the writing that was on, like, specifically the lock door,
Mhm.
do I know it's Gnomish?
You know it could be Gnomish. It uses the same script as Dwarvish.
Alright, then I'll suggest Jeb will try reading this in case it's Gnomish.
He repeats the
And I'll
exact
have a
same
look-see.
thing.
Or anyone else who speaks something that uses the Dwarven script.
So yes, you can offer it to Jebel. He wants to take a look at it.
Do I have any languages that use Dwarven script? I don't think I do, but let's try this.
Don't do other than Dwarven.
I need to check my notes, Sam.
What?
I had to get up.
I think the name was... I'm not going to say what I think it is. I'm just going to find it in case that's I'm remembering wrong and that's a name I want to use for something else. Sorry, pulling out my notes.
I liked when I named an NPC in Curse of Strahd Tatiana.
Oh, yeah?
That's the name of a very important dead NPC. I was like, shit.
Whoopsies. Different Tatiana.
Ah! So, actually, before handing it over, I see if it makes any sense Primordial. Since that apparently uses Dwarven script.
Why does Primordial use the Dwarven script? That's dumb.
What would it use? its own script.
Yeah, I just kind of imagined it would use its own script. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter because it's a spoken language and not a written language.
Yeah, why are the elementals writing it down?
Yeah, no, you're right. You right. Where my character list? Come on. There we go. Anthony Brassbeak. Remember that guy?
He was a gentleman.
And a scholar.
Not
I
quite.
wouldn't go that far.
He might have been a scholar at one point.
Who was that?
That was the dude who tried to kill us all.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
The short one that tried to kill us all.
Dungeon.
All right. I didn't
We're not
remember
trying
his
to go-
surname.
You're going to have to be more specific. That does sum up this party.
Okay, if I didn't write it here, where the fuck did I write it? Wait, I know where I wrote it. It's in a different set of notes. I'm very upset.
So many notes.
So many notes. I have my notes all over the place. Where are you? Garland. There we go. Is that in the description of that? No. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the proper name. Make sure I'm giving you the right freaking name. I'm pretty sure on this. I'm just not happy that I.
Watch Rebellion at some point.
You've watched it once already, right?
I've seen it a bunch of times.
Okay.
Watch it again.
Yeah. Well, we're coming up on it, right?
Rebellion?
No, well, Vergesnacht.
Well, Pergasnacht is at the end of April.
Oh, it is?
We're coming up on Monica's birthday, kind of.
Oh, okay.
It's October 3rd.
Why is that?
Don't forget.
What?
October 3rd.
October 3rd.
It's also Full Metal Alchemist Day.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, that's why
I didn't remember that it was also Monica Day. Where are you? I did little histories of things. And I know. Look, I'm just going to have to go with it. Because it's not written here, and I can't keep looking for this. There's one last place I can choose. Check. One last place I can check. Okay, that's right. I wrote that out in case somebody used the legend lore.
Who would do that?
You, because you're the only one who can.
It's true.
Oh, no.
That sounds like something.
Yukikaze might try.
With somebody able to use legend lore, it's a good idea to actually have some legends and lore. Why do I suck at everything?
I don't have a good answer for that.
Fuck you.
Do you have a bad answer?
I think that
Not
was
really.
a bad answer.
I don't
True.
understand. I don't understand where I wrote it. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure I stay true to my notes so I'm not just pulling problem names out of my ass. I mean, like, no way, that was supposed to be the name of something else later. Chapter 4. Check chapter 4. Alright. I knew it. I know you're around here somewhere. I knew it. Victoria. I'm pretty sure his name was Silas. Okay. Where's just going to have to go with. Yeah, we'll do that, and I'm going to write it down so I don't lose it. There is a name written on the bottom. It's written in a rough hand, like perhaps somebody who's not quite used to engraving tools, Jebel. But it appears to read Silas Alvernus.
Silas Alvernus. I say it loud.
Does that name mean anything to me? Should I roll history?
You want to roll some history?
Let's make a difference.
AI as well.
Yes.
That is a 23.
Can I as well?
Histoire.
What is my history?
That was a shit 3.
If it doesn't mean anything to me, I will ask Ash if it means anything to him.
I got a 20.
I got a 14.
Okay. 20 and a 14. You said you got a 26? 23. It's got an important sound to it. It's almost like you feel like you've heard the name before, but there was no... It doesn't seem to ring true with any of your studies. And the other two of you, it means nothing.
So I will ask Ash if the name means anything to him.
Ash will, as per usual, do his thinking process where he dims out and begins to be searching through his memories and information. And after a few moments' time, he will brighten back up, the light, the points of light around him expanding back into a general glowing aura. And he'll say, "Yes, Scholar, I do have an entry on that name. It appears that, according to the information I gathered with Zathala, Silas Alvernus, as best as we can tell, was the last recorded king of Garland."
Interesting.
I recall it was very difficult to unearth that piece of information. And it was only confirmed when we came here.
How had it been confirmed?
Through notes like these. Some of the pieces in the armory were attributed to him, specifically your thunder gun. His ingenuity at directing his engineers.
The Shadow looks pointedly at Raiken, you know, like maybe he should have recognized the name that was probably on the thing when Jebel read it to him, but
Oh, that Jebel read it to me. That doesn't mean I got to actually see it.
Because it's the Shadow.
Ash will bob for a moment and say, "Not when you and I came here. It was confirmed when Zathala and I came here. It seems that all information on Garland and its rulers and their successors was destroyed or prevented from finding its way out to other kingdoms, or somehow lost thereafter. I believe that you may recall experiencing that when we went to the Temple of Ione.
Indeed.
Someone worked very hard to keep this place a secret. And so any information pertaining to it, who they traded with, and who ruled them, would be equally obfuscated."
Does anyone else have anything that they want to be asking in regards to that, or?
What does this have to do with the Lich? What's the
Don't know
connection?
if it does anything to do with the Lich.
Maybe how she ended up in Garland. Who was the last king?
this might not be part of the illusion.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Hmm.
Carry this through.
Where was she from originally again? Asked in character.
Minuet?
Hmm.
Yeah, the Empire of the Four Queens.
That's south.
Yes.
Why did she come up here? What's
The fight that we heard of involving the fight that we heard of with the last known location of the champion of Cord. That was at the border of the Empire of the Four Queens.
That is what the tales say.
Do I know if the
All of the stories that you heard, which included those of the Temple of Cord, indicated that it was some contested strip of land near the border between the Empire of the Four Queens and Toralos.
do I know, and I'll roll for this, how the borders between the countries have shifted over time?
It hasn't shifted terribly because it's a mountain range. So while the mountains have been worn down over the last 500 years, especially with the advent of the storms carrying the abrasive sands, for the most part, it was a rough line between the two. In all honesty, the Empire of the Four Queens has little interest in its northern border, considering that the stretch between the city and Toralos is uninhabitable. Yeah. And then Toralos became further uninhabitable when it started being decimated by these storms. All the more reason to stay in the Oasis. That's not necessarily first-hand knowledge, but it is
Seems a
reasonable speculation
for me to draw.
Yes.
Whether it's right or wrong.
And you are a person of history, so they are the kind of things that you would put some thought into.
Here specifically, perhaps there's something that she knew about the city that has since been lost. Perhaps the stories aren't entirely accurate in things that have been conveyed, and this city actually means something to her more explicitly than a place to hide.
You able to hear everything they're saying, Jubble?
Last thing I heard was the city might mean more to her than a simple place to hide.
That was
Yeah,
the
that
last
was what
thing.
he said.
Yeah.
No, that was just a long silence.
I was waiting to see if anyone was going to jump in with another question or another point or something.
I've got nothing.
I got nothing, but Raiken votes to destroy this item.
Why?
The the
Just in case.
item
might
At
be
this
the relic.
point, we just have to just start destroying. Just in case.
This isn't crazy. It's a piece of history from the gnomes.
So Raiken moves in with his sword, with his axe drawn.
Jabel's still holding it. Jabel moves away from Raiken.
But what if it isn't? I mean, this is a room of illusions, right? What if it's a different object? It just looks like a piece of Gnomish history.
So then, what would you believe is a reason for her to be doing that and misleading us in such a way?
To hide something or more valuable to her.
Is there anything else in the chest that we didn't see but is perhaps there?
I can try to go over it some more.
Any
Doesn't
hidden
seem really
compartments that might be in there?
for any like hidden compartments. I got a perception.
I didn't hear a number.
I got a 27. 27
That
perception.
is a lot of perception.
Perceptive.
27 perception on Vandar's part, looking for hidden compartments in the chest.
There doesn't seem to be anything within the chest. It seems to be exactly as it appears. An old wooden chest with an old wooden relic. Interestingly, the interior of the chest appears much older than the exterior. The outside looked magnificent and beautifully painted and oiled and well kept, and its metal hinges in perfect condition. Inside, the wood looks old and rotted and covered in cobweb.
Opened in a while.
Wasn't perfectly sealed then.
Perhaps this item was still in there because she built her illusion around it. And so there was no need for anything in particular to be changed for this item, as it was not meant to be seen, and is therefore not something that should necessarily be destroyed without further investigation or it is historically important.
Maybe we should keep a hold of it before deciding. Like, if we take it outside the illusion and it changes or disappears, we know it was false.
Well, it just means we know it's being affected by an illusion. Doesn't mean we know it's false.
We can't trust anything in these rooms.
I have removed a book from the previous illusion, and it made it successfully out of the area of influence. I will hold out the book out of the. I'm trying like hold it out of the like there's the edge of a book.
There he is, the edge of a book sticking out of this pillar of smoke over here. Are you going to let them take it from you if they want to examine it?
I am not going to. If it's Leah that is approaching, I'm going to prefer somebody else.
Is anybody interested in taking this book that Laramentis claims to have taken from one of the illusions?
Sure, I'll come take a look.
Alright, great. You walk up to the pillar of black smoke and you reach out and take the corner of the book. It seems to be a rather thin book, but printed on nice paper. You don't recognize the cover.
Will I be able to read it from where I'm standing? Or like, I will try to get closer. Will I be able to read like the back of the book when Cyrus is holding it?
Is there anything printed on any of the covers?
There is something printed on the front cover. There appear to be, like, woodcutting images of, ladies in finery. And, it says, or many beholders, a companion to the best-selling book, Beauty is in the Eye of. Want to know what's inside?
That looks very interesting. Where did you get that?
So these are the kinds of books you read. Now I understand.
No. However, this is the only copy of it that I've heard of, and it is therefore of historical importance.
Uh-huh. Have I ever heard of this book before?
Roll history.
I got a 12.
No. There are a lot of books in the world.
I hand him back the book.
I take
Oh, you're not interested in what's inside? Okay.
I'm
found
gonna-
it in the
I like
bedroom.
flip-
Hold on. I'm
flip
gonna
book
I
pages. What?
I'm gonna try to yank it from his hands before he delivers this to Nermendus.
I'm gonna ask for opposed dexterity then.
Not sleight of hand.
No, because
You're not
this
trying to,
isn't
like, palm it.
secret. Yeah, you're not palming
trying to
it. You're,
take it.
you're just trying to swipe it from him.
I do not believe that book is appropriate for someone of your age. I'm not sure if it's appropriate for someone of your age. I'd say in Cyrus's direction.
Oh, come on. I'm 19.
Yes,
Okay, so,
I
That's an
know.
adult.
14 and dexterity.
You got a 14. What did you get, Cyrus?
Just dexterity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got less than that. I got an 11. I rolled a 7. What do you want from me?
Higher.
Okay. Well, it seems.
yank it, I can
it
rush
seems
over to it.
that Leah has the book.
I'm gonna
me. What do
rush
you
over
want
to
from
the.
me?
She's like, oh, that looks intriguing, yoink, and then dashes to the side of the room.
Yeah. And
Oh,
then I
I'm gonna
start
say 10,
looking
not
through it.
11.
Did Raiken not hear me say that the book was probably inappropriate for someone of her age and also Cyrus's age and
I mean,
whichever one of you was oldest?
Raiken
Hey,
is...
Raiken's still like preoccupied with wanting to destroy the statue.
Okay.
Wait, can I like stick my foot out and try to trip him as he runs by?
I mean, you could.
Who are you trying to
He
trap?
runs. Raiken. He passes me, I'm gonna do
it. Okay, so I mean, go for it. You stick it out. I think again it's gonna be opposed dexterity. So, Raiken roll dexterity, Yukikaze roll dexterity.
Great, I'm gonna lose this one.
I mean, you just have to roll really high on your die. That's all.
Oh, he beat me.
You have to roll not so very high on your die.
You have to roll on your die.
What did you roll?
You have to roll on the die.
Oh, 5.
Okay, I got a 13.
So you,
Well, 5 plus 2, yeah.
you managed to jump over the armored leg that juts out and tries to trip you up.
Damn.
In the meantime, Leah is reading that book. Perusing, and nobody's stopping her, which is great. So I get to take a few minutes to type a thing now. Where are we? Here. Where are you?
I really don't think that book is appropriate.
How did this happen? I was just looking at his name, and then somebody entered a message and it made it disappear.
Alright.
That's unfortunate.
Be right back.
spell the word? I think there's an extra L in there. Yes, I did. Alright, I hope I never have to write that ever again.
Ugh.
Alright, so you begin thumbing through it and trying to get an understanding of what it's all about. You do manage to learn all the things I typed out for you, at which point Cyrus will move over and try to take it back. And because you are distracted reading, I do believe he will be successful.
So once again, post dexterity.
Yeah.
Just straight up. Any.
You get advantage on dexterity, and Leah just gets dexterity.
Ah, dice. Why?
Because it wants her to keep reading.
Apparently. So, what'd you get?
Just dexterity.
Yep.
17.
I got a 13 because I rolled an 8, and then I rolled a 4. Thank goodness it's not combat.
Wait. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say. You had an advantage, not disadvantage.
Yeah, but it's still
Yeah,
13.
13 is still lower. So you
I mean, it's
you
lower than what
see
I had
him
before.
trying to take it from you, and you quickly dash away again.
Yeah.
And now we've got. Oh no!
I got to run around the corner up to Garland, and I just got add in the book.
Boom!
Works for me, because that's what I was trying to do.
But now there's a pile up.
Yeah. And I'm handing the book over to Laramandas, like, yeah, this is interesting and all, but I would like to finish the original first. This is giving too much away.
I see.
Have you perused this book yet, or just taken it because you didn't recognize the title?
I think I flipped through it. I think that was why I took it, because I didn't recognize it and I saw that it's association.
Okay, then I'll send you this.
Do I want to be sent your smut?
Nope.
Am I
You
going
know what
to
that
send
means?
your smut
Oh yeah.
anyway?
Yep. Better
Wait,
freaking
what
believe
this
it.
goes. Is it happening anyways? Absolutely.
You ass. He just missed the notification. Any event, so there's all this shenanigans going on in this room. There was a chest. Now there's a door. There's 2 doors, technically. Which door do people want to take, or do you just want to live in this room forever?
So I vote we take the new door. I'm gonna go take the new door.
Wait, what are we doing with the statue?
Holding on to it for now, because it's of historical importance.
Historical importance.
New catchphrase.
Then it turns out being the freaking thing that we have to destroy.
And that's
And
why
then
we're
it
taking it
seems
with us,
useful
so
for
that
us
we need to
have
break
with
it.
us.
We'd rather leave it here. You'd rather break it. The compromise is taking it with us.
Is this agreeable to you, Raiken?
Raiken is gonna put up with it. Just. Oh.
So, who wants to take the new door?
Yo.
I will say it's 10.
It is
So
10.
keep, time in mind.
10:30 is our normal ending time, or when
Yeah,
we try to
just,
end.
Just as a
Yep.
heads up kind of thing.
Yep, thank you. This was a funny-ass room. Alright. This'll be fun. So, everybody's going through the new door?
Yep.
Alright.
Charge!
George.
That's a move.
Why? I always roll good on these. It's like always the same number. I don't know why.
That seems useful. Speaking as somebody who has failed like most of the ones that I've rolled, but not this one.
Yeah, I've succeeded most of my rolls too, but I
19.
failed this one.
So,
I failed a few, but
26.
fewer than most. 21 and 21.
8.
19.
Where do I vomit?
On to Jebel.
Ooh, oh.
Sorry, Jab.
Oh.
I need a drink. I'll be right back.
Okay. Wait for him to come back with his drink, I guess.
You showed it to me. Where did you see it? Did you, Commissioner?
Well, she wanted help, so this was just a let me give you money commission,
Yeah.
and I'll get something out of it too.
I was thinking of asking for a needle guard.
You were?
Needle guard?
Did you?
No, I didn't have time.
I mean, I commissioned it an hour late. Like,
No,
or
I
2
don't mean
hours.
like I saw that she closed anything.
Oh, okay.
I just mean like I hadn't sat down and done anything.
So let me see. I think it was an hour or 2 late, actually. That was like, oh, she did this an hour or 2 ago, and she only had 10 slots. So that might not get in, but that's okay. It was weird, because that means she was only really trying to make like 100 or 150 bucks, because she was only charging 10 and 15 with only 10 slots. I gave her 20, whatever, because I always overpay. I insist upon it. That was the $10 one. I'm like, you have 20 bucks. It's loud, why? Someone tell me when Derek comes back with his drink. Because I want to describe this room, but it's kind of important that everybody be paying attention the first time I describe it. That's a heads up to all you people falling asleep out there.
You can spend the time to mark out puke areas.
Oh, crap. Yeah, that's a good idea. What did you get, Jebel?
Oh, I got like a 19.
Okay. What did you get, Lair?
19.
What did you get, whatever your name is? Leah?
What did you get, other one?
8?
Yep.
Is there anybody you're feeling particularly displeased with?
I mean, I'm always displeased with Vendor.
Ah, nice. Vendor, what'd you get?
I knew it. I got a 21.
21. Alright. God damn it. Can I
As a general rule, we should always throw at Vindar. He's the best chance of avoiding it.
Yeah, true.
What'd you get, Yukikaze?
25.
And what'd you get, Raiken?
20.
Oh,
Alright. Vendar, please roll a dexterity saving throw. Everybody's beasting their con saving throws today, except for a couple times, but like for the most part, they really have.
I've made 4 of these, if I recall correctly. I've rolled 3 18s and an 8.
Yeah, I'm talking about all the 25s and 20s and 21s.
I can't even get. I can get a 21.
Like, I'm just talking like on die, because the 18s go to 26.
I think Vendar said 20, right, Vendar?
20 dex.
Okay, cool.
20 dex.
So you managed to see it coming and go, nope. Leah, you feel awful.
Yeah. Like I wasn't already.
You,
Feels like
you
you
didn't
aimed
know
at
that you
them.
had anything left to throw up.
Leah's back.
It's mostly like transparent gook.
Is Cyrus back?
Yeah, I've been talking. I said I was back. It's in the chat. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Alright, so, what did you get for your con save?
26.
26, okay. That's right.
Third
you
one
did
of the
answer
night.
that question. Okay, so yeah, Leah throws up. Bender manages to avoid it. You enter this room. It is a stone room, not unlike the rest of the dungeon, although it does appear to have windows set high on the wall to the outside, and there is the golden yellow shafts of the late afternoon light pouring in to either side of this. This is wrong. Excuse me, I need to fix this. No, that's the wrong color. That's the right color. There we go. The room is about 25 feet high, and there's this statue here, a larger-than-life statue of a man. It appears to be a human man, and he has his hair is drawn back, braided, and then wrapped, and he seems to have very nice clothes on him, very much like the clothing that you saw in... Actually, you recognize this man, Larmendus. This is Lord Kuvara. You saw him in the memory when you tried to go into his office. The interesting thing is that in addition to his gentleman's clothing, he seems to have some belts for war on, like a sword belt. There is a scabbard on his left hip. He has one hand down at his side, open, like so, and the other hand held forward, again, open, as though he could be holding something. And he looks out back toward the door as the light shines down on either side of him. And then these two gray squares down to the left represent what appears to be a stone sword, larger than life. It would take two of you to move it. As you enter the room, you teleport in, you hear a slam and latch. And the door locks behind you.
I will tell everyone that this the statue appears to be Minuet's father, as near as I can tell.
Did he just... Oh my god, you just said the door closed behind us?
Yep.
I attempt to open the door to see if it's just part of the illusion.
Roll initiative.
The door is actually a mimic and it attacks you.
Yes. As a matter of fact.
Door mimics are my favorite kind of mimics.
I'd be given that it is 10:15. It's only one enemy.
Yeah, but it's a freaking mimic.
So
Yeah.
what? Mimics are not that bad.
Unless they've been leveled up.
Or unless there's more than one.
It's
Everything is worse in box.
true. Where'd the search
Anyways, so, oh, actually, we're at those. 19, so I did fairly well.
You know, Raiken did better than he did on his first initiative roll.
I still beat Raiken though.
Everybody beat Raiken. Again.
Yeah.
Maybe. What did Raiken get?
4.
Okay, yeah.
He got one better than what he did last time.
You'll get there eventually.
He beasted all his friggin' con rolls, but when it comes to initiative...
I mean, initiative is dex based.
Well, at least I didn't get tripped. That was dex based. So.
It's because you were going against Yukikaze.
Yukikaze is better dex than I do.
Well,
Better
At
dex
least
than
that's-
you is not a high bar.
at least after today, I'll be able to say I fought a mimic.
How have you not gotten to fight one in any of your other campaigns?
Don't think so.
Could
I
spot a
think
mimic
one might have
before.
come up in a session I missed, which I was mildly upset about.
No.
That's right. The only time I encountered a mimic in my campaign was when one of the party members adopted one as a pet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Raiken almost got eaten by a mimic twice.
I heard about that.
That was wonderful. Oh, man.
He
That
jumps
was fun.
out of its mouth into its other mouth.
Into another mouth.
So, okay, let's see. What nope spells do I have today?
Alright, you get out of this mouth. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna jump onto another of the fallen logs. Well, you jumped into another mouth.
Yeah. Wait, the mimic was both logs?
Yep. It was one of my favorite things ever. He's just like, I'm like, all right, which way do you want to go? Do you want to jump back down to the ground, or do you want to climb over under the other tree? He's like, I'm climbing over under the other tree. I'm like, all right, you do so. It eats you.
Cheater.
Yeah, goddamn pack hunters.
So, if only I could cast Detect Thoughts at will. Maybe I could have detected the mimic.
Maybe.
If only you weren't foolish enough to be the one that approached a door. I
I
mean,
didn't
on
think
you.
the door would be the problem. I thought there would be like a trap on the door or something in the room trying to kill us. Not the door itself.
You can't trust doors.
It reminds me of the green text I read where it was like they were saying that they entered this room that had like a chest. And they're saying everyone they went like they examined the chest from every angle, they cast like all the tech spells on it and everything. And they were like one of them like cautiously opened it. You know, nothing happened.
Nothing
It was
happened.
full of like gold and like okay, that's fine. And they go to leave the room and the door attacks them.
Yeah, no,
Or like the wall behind the chest. That's always fun.
No, that's the treasure in the chest. Is always-
Alright, I
is always
think
the
I
best.
have appropriately leveled this thing up. We'll find out.
I don't want to get nommed. I don't like being nommed.
I don't know, I mean... You always
About
wanted
time for
this.
someone else got nommed.
Well, he might not nom on you for too long because you're not very meaty.
Yeah, you're very small.
It's just not a lot to nom.
Not a lot to know.
Just means it's easier to eat him.
Alright, so, you know,
Let's not make more.
Vendar over here. You went
I'm gonna
straight
go
back and you're like, no, I don't want to be here anymore. You grab the knob on the handle and go to twist it. And rather than, or not the knob, the latch, rather than like the latch having this smooth mechanical motion as it turns down, you kind of grab it and it like squeezes in your hand like Play-Doh, and you're, you know, out of just habit, you're already rotating your hand, and it just sort of oozes into the position rather than a smooth mechanical action, and then it just keeps going and wraps around your hand like Play-Doh again, and then it grows fangs that all bite into your hand.
Nope. I'd be
So,
allergic.
let's see.
That's what I need
Huge
right
or
now.
small creature adhered to the mimic is grappled. Mimic adheres to anything that touches it. So it is adhered to you. You can
Nice.
choose. You are grappled automatically because you touched it. And as the latch is wrapping around your hand and growing fangs, you notice that the whole door is now like wobbling its shape, and you like see these two ominous eyes, like where the top panels of the door kind of spread apart, and then just leer down at you. and it looks like this thing, there's just like a tongue coming out of the door wrapped around your arm, and the whole front panel of the door suddenly goes from being like, you know, a solid wood surface to being just a black void, the edge of which is ringed in teeth. Like you could just fall through into it. So, I need to do the initiative things. Leah, 22. Was that your initiative, Guaco?
Yeah.
Okay, you sent a direct message, so I got confused.
Oh, I didn't realize I wasn't.
That's fine.
Unlike the worm maw, this maw we do not want to go into.
Who knows? Maybe it's part of the illusion. It's how you get back out. I mean, no,
The funny
definitely.
thing is,
Well-
Chance is not joking.
If any way you slice it, it is a way out because you're just going out without your body.
It's the easy way out. All right,
You're
what'd
going out with
You
your
know, I
body.
was curious why
Yeah.
I was on the one writing my unit.
What did you get, Lair?
I got 6.
You got 6. Nice. What'd you get, Jebel?
15.
You got 15. All right. What'd you get, Vendor?
You get 13.
13. Really? He's never rolled that low before.
The king of the initiative has come down to walling with the common people.
Not even with the common people.
Really, the common people.
The common
Common
people.
people are still down here.
No, you're the sucky
looking
people.
up.
We're the common people.
Cyrus, what'd you roll?
19.
19.
Bottom
Lee,
of the
yeah, I
barrel.
got a 22. Yukikaze,
15.
15. Raiken,
Or,
4. Love it.
you know, I keep going up.
Yep. The day is yours, man.
So what's Yukikaze's initiative? Like, score? Not roll.
2.
Oh, mine's 3.
Okay.
You roll 15.
Yep.
Actually, when is it supposed to change? Does it ever change again? No, it's raising a stat.
You have to
Yeah.
raise your dexterity.
Yeah.
We're grabbing the alert feat. Alert or alertness, whatever it's called.
I think
Alert.
it's alertness. Oh, it used to be alertness then. Whatever.
This is the
Brunar had alert. Never got an awful lot of use out of it.
Alright.
Well, I
Copy
mean,
that.
other than the +5.
Jump over here.
Oh,
Initiative in
Jesus.
all capital letters.
That did not help half the time.
There we go. Huzzah! Alright, initiatives on the screen. Leah, bad guys, Cyrus, Jebel, Yukikaze, Vendar, Lair, Raiken. So, you are grappled. Cyrus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that's skewed so far over.
If only Leah had force push.
Okay. And Leah, you see this door, like, morphing in front of your eyes, no longer acting like wood, acting more like, you know, rubber or slime, stretching, changing shape, and changing into a terrifying vision of death as its spiny tongue wraps around Cyrus' hand and begins trying to pull him into the dark abyss of the toothy mouth.
I'm going to step about 10 feet back, like diagonally southeast.
Okay.
So to AC 13. No, 14. Or 13? Nah, I can't tell. Whatever.
13.
There, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it.
Okay. Fire away.
First blast is definitely a hit. I'm gonna be surprised if not, because it's 19 on die. So That's let's see, that's 27.
27. You hit. Excuse me.
I mean, yeah, if that didn't hit, I would have to crit to hit the thing. So, it's 10. So long since I've done this now. Well, as my attacks normally go, I roll well on attack and awful on damage.
Okay. Damage is
1.
1. Alright. 1 force damage.
Pew.
And your next blast.
Blink.
17.
17. You will hit.
And that's an 8.
8. Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, very nice. 2 blasts, and I still didn't roll a bow at 10.
No.
Which is the
but
dice I use.
it doesn't seem to be resistant to force damage, which is good.
There's not many things that is.
Is there a third blast, or is it just 2 still?
Just those 2.
One more level, then you get third blast.
Gotcha.
That
Alright.
that would be nice.
Which means it is now the Mimic's turn.
Oh, come on, he beat a 9. He did. Dang it.
Yeah, he got a 20.
Rest in peace, hit points. You will be
Rest
missed.
in peace. The Mimic has advantage against you because you are grappled. Boo, 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 boo. Bite. So it's going to try to pull you in and bite you with its doorway mouth. The doorway of teeth. Okay. So that is going to be a crit.
Great. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So, one quick question first.
Mhm.
So, is there like a special feature giving it advantage from me being grappled?
Yes.
All right, just check.
It has a special feature that says the Mimic has advantage on attack rolls against creatures that it has grappled.
Okay.
That's very specific.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Normally I wouldn't ask, but I'm
No.
looking for anything to avoid that crit.
I know. And normally I'd just be like, no, I'm not telling you because this is the monster and you don't know how it works. But I'm going to tell you right now. That's how mimics work.
Okay.
The idea is they sit there and do nothing until you touch them so that they automatically grapple you, and then they get advantage on all attacks against you.
All right. So how dead am I?
It's 22 points of non-magical piercing damage.
22.
And then an additional 16 points of acid damage.
Holy fuck.
So 16, you said?
16 acid on top of 22 non-magical piercing.
Okay, so that goes down to that. That goes down to that. I still need to carry over 2 more. So that goes down to... Okay. Ow!
Yeah.
I don't want to do that again.
It is continuing, like, this is literally the doorway, just ringed in teeth, just biting down on you as the tongue pulls you into the void, and it bites you. Alright, that's it for its turn. Bum, bum, bum,
Cyrus,
bum,
fight back.
So next is Cyrus.
So...
Is there a fair old doors?
There will be. Portophobia.
I was gonna say that.
Let me check one thing.
And I'm out of water.
Alright, makes sense. So, I will attempt to break the grapple.
You will attempt to break the grapple. Alright, you are going to be rolling. I believe it's the same as ever. Yeah, you can roll it whichever you want. It's either acrobatics or athletics.
I got 21.
Okay. You manage to pry your hand from the grip of this leash-like tongue.
I will promptly be on the other side of the room.
Alright, so you're running all the way up to the statue.
Yup.
Alright, so it's going to...
A step away from the statue, just in case it's also a mimic.
Fine. It's going to attempt a attack of opportunity as you move away. It has disadvantage due to the boots. Nice. That is a 12.
Missed.
Okay. It misses you. Okay.
Alright.
After
So-
Cyrus. You're done, right?
Well, hold. I might not be. Let's see if there's anything I want to throw at this while I have a clear line of sight. Yeah, no, not really nothing I want to bother with quick and spell for. So yeah, you're good.
Okay. Jebel. Oh, sorry. Never put an icon on the map. It didn't move. Oh, nice. This is almost perfect. I like this one better. Gimme, gimme. Where's your snipping tool? Snipping tool. Want. Boop.
Somebody kick the pool of vomit into its mouth.
This is so perfect. I'm so happy this was here. Boop. Mimic door. How does that look? Not too bad.
You actually found a mimic door.
Yeah, no, I just punched in Mimic Door, and, like, several images came up. I'm like, yes! Okay.
I think you can search mimic anything and they will find a picture of it.
I hope so. Alright, Jebel.
My mind went straight to the gutter on that comment.
Mimic cock ring.
Okay, then. Jebel.
Yeah.
Help me here. Tell me what you want to do with your turn before I have to listen to more of that. We are an 18+ live play podcast.
Can I? I can draw an attack. Like, draw
You
a weapon and
can
attack.
draw and attack. You just can't do that as a reaction, but it is your action, so you may do that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to draw my scimitar, my purple worm tooth scimitar, and slash at the door. Well, we're gonna have to approach it first.
I just want to throw this here first so that people see this because it's great. No, stop that. It's a mimic wine cask. Just like that room you guys were just in.
Yeah, you guys went and touched all of them.
You did. Good thing none of them was a mimic. You didn't touch the right one. Alright, so you're going to move up to here? Or do you want to be directly in front of it?
No, it's 5 foot reach, so
You're fine right there.
are you on what's that? Z11?
Yeah, you're on AA11, or no, I'm sorry, you're on Z11, and it's on Y11, on Y10.
Okay, so I can hit it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 foot reach just means you have to be adjacent, and adjacent is
Yeah.
any of the 8 squares around it. So, you're rolling to hit it?
Yes. Just figure out why. Okay. What is that? 16. 16 to hit.
Okay. Describe the action. Describe the attack you just made.
With a scimitar.
With a scimitar. You swing at it with your scimitar. Okay. You didn't want to get all fancy on me. That's fine. A
Fancy.
You're a fancy what?
He's not a fancy dwarf.
Okay.
Not dwarf. He's not a fancy dwarf.
He's definitely not a fancy dwarf.
gnome.
He's not a fancy gnome. All right, so you rush forward, saying nothing. Jebel is most silent, and swing the scimitar at it. 16 will hit.
Hooray! So that is 7 slashing damage.
7 slashing damage.
I assume scimitars are slashing, aren't they?
Yes.
And 2 poison damage.
And 2 poison damage. All right. Poison. It does not seem to be weak or resistant to poison as you hit it with that. So it takes the damage normally. All right. Are you doing anything else with your turn?
Bonus actions do I have? I don't know.
Do you want to stay there or move away?
If I move away, I provoke.
No, you are aware that the mimic tried to attack Cyrus again. You saw it try to get him. You know that any creature can only have one reaction in a round, so if you see them use their reaction, you know they don't have another one.
Okay, then I'll move 2 squares back to the right. AB.
There are 1 or 2 extenuating circumstances where that won't be true, but in most normal combat, once something has used its reaction, it can't do it again. So you're gonna move over here, you said? AB 11?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, after Cyrus... We need battle music.
Jebel.
After Jebel, sorry.
Kukiyaze.
Bad guys redux.
He gets to go again. I'll put one on that Alex likes. Is that not playing?
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything.
Damn it. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay, that's playing. Now play the one I wanted.
That was weird.
Okay, sorry about that. Tuesday. Yes, after Jebel is Yukikaze.
This is the one that I like.
No, the one that you like is hopefully going to play after this one. It just
okay.
it didn't play the one I wanted when I first entered it in, so I tried entering a different one. Yukikaze, what are you gonna do? You've seen this door turn into a horrifying mouth monster and try to eat Cyrus, and almost succeed.
So the question is, can I squeeze past without slipping on the vomit to get to to striking range?
Make a dexterity check. Acrobatics.
Wait, actually, I will use my new maneuver.
Okay.
Aha!
What's that?
Lunging strike.
Okay.
Will that allow me to skip past without doing a dex check?
I'll allow it.
Is that the one that gives reach?
I think he gets to move before the attack.
Yes, read it. And lunging. When you make a melee attack on your turn, you can expend 1 superiority die to add it to your total damage and increase your reach for that attack by 5 feet.
Then hilariously, it's just like you sort of just
Wait.
reach further out. You just take a slight step forward and just reach further out, and you're
That name is that freaking name of the attack is misleading.
It's
No,
a
it's
little
not. You
odd.
lunge.
You lunge,
It's a
and
lunge.
you get extra reach. So you actually don't leave this square at all. You stay here, but rather than only being able to attack these squares, you can now attack these squares.
Mm.
So
It's
in
very
your
useful.
lunge, you step into the vomit.
Yeah. You step directly in it, and it splashes on Vendar.
Alright, I guess I will. I guess end up making a dex check to move over there.
You don't want to lunge into the
You
vomit.
don't want a lunging strike?
No.
Okay.
That's your superiority die, the damage.
Yeah, dex check.
Alright. Hopefully I don't roll absolutely terrible.
Wait, jump. Jump 5 feet. You're strength based.
Anyone can jump 5 feet.
I know.
Almost no one can jump 10 feet, however, because we're all depend on instant strength.
What will 12 do for me?
You're good.
Okay.
You're able to nimbly step across and around the splatters of vom on the ground into position directly in front of the door, which you see this nasty purple spiny tongue just whipping around looking for anything it can grab hold of.
Oh, that is just so delicious. Alright, so I need... I'm doing... 2
Minotaur.
attacks. Alright. Sorry, I'm getting all my dice so I can roll all at once. 8, 20. Where's my 20? Oh, some of the thing. Alright. So. Let me see what Timothy's. No, I'm thinking of. Oh, no, I'm thinking about my superiority, but. Good there. Okay. So my main hand's Bleeder. First attack is unfortunately crappy. Does a 16 hit?
16 hits.
Alright, and that damage is 5 plus 6 is 11. And that's slashing. Is that magic?
It's bleeder, right? So that's magical slashing damage.
Slashing. Okay.
So 11 magical slashing damage?
Yep.
Alright.
And my second attack with my main hand is 21.
That'll hit.
And that will be 3 plus 6 is 9 magical slashing.
9 magical slashing. Alrighty.
Alright, now my offhand, I need a 6-sided.
They're just like vomity footprints.
Well, a 15 hit.
Yes.
Okay, and that will be 8 magical piercing.
8 magical piercing damage. It does not seem to resist that either.
I wonder when I get my triple attack. I forget what that is.
You get that next level, same as Liam.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, you did a number on that thing as you slash, stabbed it. Swish, stab.
Voice.
Are you going to move? Or are you going to stay there?
I am gonna stay there.
Okay. Then, after you... It is Vendar. The lowest on the initiative he's ever been. You got this, Vendar.
I'll back off a bit. I'll go next to Cyrus, and I'll shoot it. You sharp
well.
shooting.
Go for it.
So 20 to hit.
I don't think it's playing the song I wanted to play. 20 will hit.
Because it's adjacent to it, so
I mean, it's 8-bit.
Yeah, but there was another 8-bit one I wanted to play.
Wait, that's why I stayed, 'cause I knew that hopefully would help you.
It's 40 magical piercing damage.
40 magical piercing damage as this magic arrow streaks across the room and punctures into the door, splintering bits of wood off that then writhe on the ground as little tendrils.
One of them sticks onto Yukikaze.
Huh?
So one of them sticks onto Yukikaze.
Some of the little
No.
splinters rain on Yukikaze and just stick to him.
They're still writhing.
Hey, don't
Very weird.
hurt the help.
Alright, after Vandar is Lair.
Chill touch.
Chill touch. Alright,
12.
Oh, that's new.
you miss.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I
Anything
rolled a
else?
3 on die.
Anything else, or are you happy there?
That seems fine to me.
Okay. Raiken.
If I move up one space, can I hit it?
Yep.
Then Raiken will move up one space.
Alright, you move up. You are now adjacent to Yukikaze and the door, with its lashy tongue.
And then I will attack it.
Maybe the top of my shore.
Alright, attack away.
And I get a nat 1. So I'll attack again. This time I got a 27. No, 20. Yeah, 27 to hit. Guessing that hits.
27 will hit, yeah.
And then I will do 8 silvered slashing damage.
8 silver slashing damage.
And
Saves.
then Raiken will back off, go back to where he was.
Over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, after Raiken, that brings us back to the top of the order. Leah!
Laya?
Laya.
No, it's Lilia.
I'm doing more Eldritch Blast.
Lila.
That's this is 16, so
You said it was a 16?
24.
24, that will hit.
This one. 7 points of force damage.
7 points of force damage, not bad. This thing is just starting to chunk.
Second hit is exactly the same one attack.
Okay, you hit.
9 points of force.
9 points of force damage, alright. It ain't looking good.
Now it gets to attack.
Now its turn, and it's going to do something very unusual. You're going to see that these eyes on top are looking around the room, passing, you know, disjointedly like a lizard's from one person to the next. It's going to momentarily focus on Yukikaze, and then one eye, the right eye, is going to look over at Laramendis, and then focus back on Yukikaze, and then look at Laramendis again, then the other one's going to focus on Laramendis.
I don't like that.
If you were a fly, you'd be shitting your pants right about now. And you're going to see that tongue that's lashing around in front of it suddenly bulk up and then elongate, stretching over Yukikaze in a way you've never seen a mimic do before.
I don't like this.
Yeah, it's going to try and grapple you with its tongue. Which means it now rolls, oops, that. that's not a great number.
I'm not
I
great
can't
numbers.
tell what it is. 18?
Shield.
Shield! So this big meaty tongue whips over you guys and comes down straight for you. You're just like, no! And it ricochets off and then retracts back into the doorway. That is its one action, which means we move on to the next person, who I've forgotten who that is.
Cyrus.
Cyrus.
Firebolt.
Firebolt.
Bolt of fire.
Double check my attack bonus. Okay, 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Alright. There's my D10.
I don't know if Laramentis has ever seen those.
So, 15 points of fire damage.
15 points of
Unresistable
fire.
fire damage, I might add.
Okay. That's fine. Doesn't resist fire or
And
anything.
then run circles around to whoever was next to me.
Yeah.
Pendar. It's not distracting at all.
Between you as you try, as you run between.
Blah! It burns to death. You smell wood and sludge and burning nasty as it returns to this amorphous charcoal-colored blob on the floor. You can see behind it is an identical-looking door.
I'm not touching it.
We're gonna end there for tonight. Good job.
I killed everything. Well, I did, technically.
The conceit is strong in this one.
I mean, he did get the last, like, lost blood. Is that a thing?
Last blood, the final blow.
Yeah.
Bow chicka bow wow. Alright, let's see here. Where'd my page go? I raised that to probably CR7. What's a CR7 worth? How much experience is a CR7 worth?
I can look it up.
Where do
just
I-
as quickly as you can. But
I don't know how they do it. Should be easier. Monsters. Challenge rating 7. That is worth that much experience. Okay. So if we go... Whoopsie. That's not what I wanted to type in. That was weird. Okay. Cool. So everybody with combat and roleplay, you may take 1,000 experience points each.
Woo! I almost died for XP.
What are you talking about? You're blowing everything up.
Yeah, and dying in the process because mimic crit.
That mimic crit was the only good thing in that fight for me.
Stop being a Raiken.
Well, it was the only thing in that fight for you. We only had 2 turns.
True.
you made me use up a first level spell though.
Oh
A first level spell. Do you know how many of those I have?
7?
First level spells?
Yeah.
You only get
4.
Really?
I've spent 2 of them. One on mage armor, one on shield. It's 2 first level spells. That's all the spells I've
And
spent today.
even with mage armor, your AC couldn't handle that one attack.
It was 16.
And it got an 18. Nice.
Or, might not 17. What is mage armor in? I think that's 3.
I don't remember. I thought it was 4.
I think it sets you to 13.
Okay.
2 index.
But yeah. So, good job. Look, you found another dead end. There's no doors listed on this room.
Wait, do we
Bullshit.
know that?
I don't know. You haven't
We
gone
haven't
and investigated
felt
the
the
walls.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
We can make our own doors. I have a 4th level spell for that.
I know. Why doesn't he just use a fire? Why doesn't frickin' Cyrus just use a fireball on the wall?
That sounds like a
Beat the
terrible
wall.
idea.
Because fireballs are expensive.
Well, you're like blowing your
Also,
load
I'm
all
not
over
sure
the
if it's a
place.
place we can stand in this room and not get hit by my fireball.
Magic.
Wow, I heard absolutely nothing of that.
What was that in episode 1?
I could make a fireball that literally covered the entire room, I think.
Which room was it in?
Room 3. Right after you fought the mummies in the Ring of Fire.
Everything was magic?
Huh?
Everything was magic?
The walls were. They had abjuration magic on them.
I didn't remember that.
Oh, okay. They have abjuration
Laramendos remembers that.
Okay.
Sam did not remember that. That was like 4 months ago.
Yeah. They're not like powerful trap kind of thing, but there was some kind of abjuration magic on all the walls. Let you assume what you like.
So he's saying that Shapestone isn't going to cut it. I was proud of that.
I hate you. Alright, so you found or went into another part of the, you went through another purple wall and began exploring rooms. You saw... Sorry about that. What'd you see? You saw purple worm sticking out of the sand and went down its throat. You saw a wine cellar with some very old wines in it. And now you're here with a statue of Daddy Kuvara.
We didn't try and drink any of the wine, though.
You didn't. Choose wisely. Everybody have a good time?
Yeah.
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 So you
Alright,
guys read a
well,
book?
make me
That
glad I'm
isn't
doing this.
appropriate for her.
I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you guys for joining us.
Well,
Oh, we had an audience.
I was
too.
near to Eden, but I had fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna end on Malachi's sneeze.